You know what? I'm not even surprised that archers need to resist the urge to shoot at the spectators, and also I forgot to tweet that we are actually live. Ooh. I just stared at my Twitter feed right now. I'm thinking like, oh man. Oh yeah, that sure is the music that plays when we're almost starting. Oh wait. I am not fully here, I will be so honest. Like, yesterday it had over 30 degrees. What kind of emote do I use? I don't know. Yesterday we had over 30 degrees, like 34 I think, and today it's only 19 and it's been raining pretty much the entire day, which I like it. I like it. I vastly prefer the rain and the weather not being as warm. But like, going from over 30 to barely less than 20 is quite extreme. And I'm also scared it's going to start raining into my room, so if I suddenly like run, it's because I need to properly close the window. But right now I'm just getting some good use out of fresh air coming in here. Also, thank you for the idea time. End of hurts, but yeah, welcome back. Sorry. Welcome back to Aces of Attorneys. We barely got started with the second chapter. I still don't remember what happened in that one. I will be for real. Oh, thank you for linking the how the arches thing as well. But whatever, we are gonna find out what that is about. I think I did say at the end of last week, I did say maybe we can possibly make it through the full chapter, but we will just have to try. Maybe not. Let's go. I'm so upset. Technically, at some point, like for my own personal well-being, I want to get all of the achievements for this game, which means I have to go through pretty much the entire two first games as well, because I didn't like save for some specific scenes that you kind of need to do that I completely rushed through because I just do the scenes you absolutely have to see. And now I'm mad. I still haven't gotten all of the achievements for Great Ace Attorney even after all of these years, because one of them is getting every single stepladder letter conversation, and that requires you to play through the entire game and clicking on all of them, and I definitely didn't do that while we played it. No sir. Oh well. Whatever. Hey Nick! What is it? Something wrong? Nah, but did you see all the people here? It's crazy. Oh, so check out the Master Mask dossier I bought. You bought this where?
The little tents in front of the courthouse. They have all sorts of things for sale.
Damn. You know I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. They got merchandise outside the courthouse. Is that legal? Come on, I'm guilty. Throw the book at me.
Who's screaming like that?
Oh, Mr. Wright, you made it. Yeah, I did, but it doesn't look like things are going to get any less ugly for you. Because I did it! I'm the criminal! Me! He said it again. I sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor, admit it! But you don't have to say good earn, right? Well, that's true, but that doesn't mean that I didn't commit the crime. Normally when I say of course you didn't, I'm being sarcastic, but you... Yikes. Anyway, I admit that I'm guilty. So make sure to give me a guilty verdict. Please? No? No, I don't think we will. There you are, Ronnie. Bonjour, sweetie. Oh, Desi, honey. Bonjour. Oh, actually, I don't really know why I should be speaking French to you at a time like this. Leave it all to me, Ronnie. I swear I'll protect you. Aw, that's sweet. You see, actually, the thief is Can I tell you something, Nicky boy? I can guarantee that my Ronnie's innocent. If If you declare guilty, I'll be ever so cross with you. Okay. So why are you smiling when you say it? Well, if you excuse me, I've got some errands I need to take care of. I'm counting on you, Nikki boy. Good luck. Thanks, girly. I'm gonna try my best. To be honest, I really don't know whether Ron is Master Mask or not, but there's only one thing I am sure of. He doesn't have the sacred urn right now. Mr. Delight, it's time for you to enter the courtroom. For the time being, I guess I have to trust Izzy there. Yeah. What's the worst that could happen? Court is now attached for the trial for Mr. Ron Delight. Pencil's ready, Yana, and I don't have to... have to imitate you being sick. Hello. Hell yeah. Ah! Hello! She can guarantee because she's the one who stole it. I don't even know. I don't remember this case. What about the prosecution? Are you prepared to? What a stupid question. What did you say? Oh. Why can't none of these prosecutors ever just say, yes, Your Honor? But let me ask you then, Your Honor. Are you ready? Are you ready to pass judgment? What? No, I'm not. I will pass judgment after I hear arguments from both sides. Well, if you're not ready yourself, you shouldn't expect others to be. That's a rule to live by. Who are you? I'm Godot. Legendary prosecutor. I've never lost a case. Right. As usual, we have a new prosecutor, and the new prosecutor has never lost a case. Why do they keep finding these prosecutors who are so legendary they never lose a single case, and then Mr. Phoenix Wright shows up and suddenly it's like, oh fuck, damn it. Also, don't mind me. I am snacking on a cucumber. He's the one that Detective Atme was talking about. Yes, your reputation precedes you. What kind of cases have you dealt with so far? None. What? I've never prosecuted a case before. Ah! If you have never prosecuted a case before, you also can't have lost. Smart. Never. But you said you've never lost before. Exactly. I've never lost. I've never won before either. Quite arrogant for a beginner, aren't you? Even the mightiest of redwoods begin their lives as mere sappers. Yes, but a mask in a court of law. Don't you know anything? No matter the man, we all wear masks. I don't know if fish is over our hearts. This guy's a real deal, alright, Nick? Why does it seem like all prosecutors are the real deal? Comes with the game. So we finally meet Mr. Phoenix Wright. Nick, is he a friend of yours? No, I don't have any friends that call me Tri. Who's this masked man? I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. Okay. Well then, Prosecutor Gobo. It's not Gobo, it's Godot, Your Honor. In any case, please give your opening statement. Opening statement? Those things are not fit for even dogs to consume. I have only one thing to say before we start. To you, Mr. Tri. What is it? Are you familiar with the saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? I wonder how much you can withstand before you and your case break in two? Okay. Despite this being Godot's introduction, I wonder why I cannot remember a single thing about this case. Good evening. Like, I know most of the characters that show up in the case, but I don't remember anything about the conclusion, you know? It's just not a terribly interesting case, that's good. It's all gonna come back to me like shortly before the end, like once we actually have enough information to figure out who the real killer is and everything. But like, we don't, wait, hold on, we don't even have a killer. We don't have a dead person. We only have a missing sacred urn right now. My god. Well then, let's hear from the first witness. Let's do that. Hi. My name is... No one has asked for your name, witness. The important thing is what you know, and that's all. Start talking. We're listening. Yes, sir. Alright, witness. First, let's hear about what you know about the thief that stole you. Yes, sir. Master Mask's crimes. Master Mask is a master thief that first started his crime spree 6 months ago. He's so confident he sends his calling card before he even commits the crime. This was his 5th heist, and as usual, he sent a card onto a lordly tailor. His pattern is to always go after only the most precious art pieces. That's why we're sure it was Master Mask, sir. It fits his MO to a T. So then the actual identity of this Master Mask is... Mr. Godot, what are you... We're in the middle of a trial here, Mr. Godot. Blacker than a moonless night, hotter and more bitter than hell itself. That is coffee. I'm sure you can grant me at least this much, Your Honor. Please, proceed. Very well, it's only coffee after all. But you can't be letting him slide this early in the trial. Proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Well, Nick, what are you going to do? As long as I haven't brought up Mr. Delight's identity, all we can do is show that it wasn't Master Mask who stole the urn. Okay. What does he... Cha-cha. Can I ask you a little something, Detective Gumshoe? Is hearing the little night questions making me nervous? You said that he always goes after the most precious art pieces, right? That's right, pal. But there's one problem. That's not what he did in this case. Supposedly, prices earned doesn't exactly rise to the level of precious art. What do you mean? Nick, how can you say such a terrible thing? No, I meant from a financial point of view. I mean, it wouldn't fetch a good price. Well, Prosecutor Godot, what is the value of the urn? The appraisers I spoke to said they couldn't attach a price to it, and I mean that in the worst sense. So in other words, it was not the kind of item that Master Mask would normally go after. We can't attach a price to it because it's so worthless. Aww. If I understand you correctly, Mr. Wright, you're saying that the theft of the sacred urn was not the work of Master Mask? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Oh, there's a piece of onion stuck to this piece of the... Actually, all I did was point out the contradiction. The argument made itself, but... Well... First of all, we need to get this issue cleared up. Was his last robbery the work of Master Mask or not? What do you have to say about this, Mr. Godot? Nothing. He's busy drinking his coffee. This coffee, it's my own special blend. I call it Godot 107. Trying to decide whether to cut down on the acidity or the bitterness. That's the only thing in front of my mind right now. Mr. Trout. What? If you're really a man, you should clean up your own mess. Sorry, but I don't get what you mean. If you're saying it was Master Mask that stole the urn, then it must be someone imitating Master Mask's methods. A fake. A fake the mask? Fake the mask? That sounds so ridiculous, but I like it. No, before I decide on my coffee, I believe some proof is in order, Mr. Trout. Proof that the person who appeared at Lordly Taylor that night was actually a fake. Though I don't approve of Mr. Godot's behavior, his point is valid. Mr. Wright, we're waiting. So I'm going to have to prove it. What? I have to prove something in this court of law? proof that the person in Lordly Taylor that night was in fact faked them. This is so stupid. The proof is right here. This looks like a photo taken by a security camera. If you look closely, you notice something peculiar about it. Well, then why don't you go ahead and show us what it is? Go on, use this point and show us just what about this picture so peculiar and accidentally tap out of the game. Oh yeah. Doesn't have a brooch. It's right here, of course. You mean Master Mask? I have here a piece of reference I would like the court to take a look at. Isn't that the publicity photo I bought this morning? Yes! The problem I have with the security camera photo is the brooch and the mask's chest. A breach? Here. Bailiff, get me Steve. We need to retreat at once. A brooch, Your Honor? It's a sort of clasp for holding one's cape on. Hi, good evening. Clasp, eh? Ah, I see now. It's kind of hard to not see. Yeah, it's a pretty big brooch. Master Mask in the security camera photo. Ah! He has no brooch! The brooch is the same as the emblem on the mask calling card and serves as a symbol. But the thief that broke into Lordly Taylor wasn't wearing a brooch. In other words, this Master Mask is a fake. I've been fooled again! Aw, it's okay. I'm sure it's not your fault. Gumshoe, how could you have overlooked this? I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how I... Hey now. If you're gonna have a pity party, invite me too. Mr. Godot, you deserve some blame in this too. How could you have overlooked such a large brooch? The brooch you're talking about. Do you mean this? Ah. That's Master Mask's brooch. Where did you find it? Well, I've always had a good nose for evidence. I got it at the crime scene. It was hidden in the shadow of a big female Buddha statue. Huh? Buddha statue? You must mean the army face statue. Why didn't you tell me about that, sir? I always put evidence away in my pocket. After all, it's the safest place for crucial evidence. This guy's one cool customer. It's a little early to be shaking up, isn't it, little lady? My friend has you've left pretty little hickeys on there, too. Hickeys? Figuratively speaking, of course. I'm referring to Ron Delight's fingerprints. What? Is that a new cup each time? I think so. Imagine it's the same way as the vine. If buttock. I think it's legitimately a new cup every time. That's sliding over. So if you started counting those, you would get an even higher number than all of the bottles thrown around in Great Ace Attorney. They found its fingerprints on the brooch. Nani? Order! Mr. Godot, let's see that brooch. Don't attach to my Italian girlfriend here. Take good care of her. I mean, it appears to have been thrown off some clothing. There's a little bit of cloth left on the back. Obviously, there must have been a big struggle that night at the crime scene. Uh-oh. Phoenix, we have a problem. On the shadow of Army Face statue, it looks like it was torn off of some clothing. You mess with Godot. You get burned. Oh, that doesn't even rhyme. It's been playing me like a violin. Wouldn't you usually say you've been played like a fiddle, not a violin? Well, Judge, I'm about ready to call my next witness. Oh, you done with me? But I haven't proved anything yet. You've proven your own incompetence. That's good enough. Doesn't sound good at all. Hey, listen. At least no one's told you that you're you're getting less money. So I think overall this is a good for you, I'm sure. My next witness into the courtroom! Finally time for the ace detective to make his appearance, huh? His pay isn't getting cut because there's nothing to cut anymore. Genuinely. Poor guy. One second is one drip of the coffee pot. Let's hurry it up. Shh, silence!
Now I see, it's all becoming clear.
I don't. What voice did I give him last time? No, whatever. It's clear.
Svadi!
The truth has once again been elegantly revealed to me. You object your objection with objection to my objection, which object you object your objection. Denied.
Objection central.
Hi! Also, hi! Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. What we have here is a judge and a prosecutor, a coffee maniac and that. Am I correct? Well, yes, that's right. Not bad. Not bad at all. You're the first person that's ever been able to penetrate my secret veil. Well, Sir Prosecutor, let me introduce myself. My name is Luke Apney, ace detective and rising star illuminating the heavens. Oi, these two make a perfect pair. They either be best friends or they tear each other's heads off. I think they should tear each other's heads off, actually. That's one less annoying person in the room. His name makes you angry? What, Luke at me? I can't believe it took me, like, until I actually said it out loud last time to really get it. Like, I just read it, I was like, okay, his name is Luke and at me. I didn't connect them, and now that I've said it out loud, I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, okay, that one's obvious. Come on, Hacker. I thought that on the night of the crime you were all alone in security detail. You have heard correctly. My specially made monocle is worth more than 100 Detective Gumshoes. If Detective Gumshoe was worth anything, that is. Jesus Christ! Where was this guy all by himself anyway? There must be some reason, I'm sure of it. Well then, tell us what this special monocle of yours witnessed. He's worth several gumshoes, but gumshoes isn't even worth anything, so like, 0 times whatever is still 0. It was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, just after the date changed. That's when my nemesis, the infamous Master Mas, dancingly descended upon me. Just as I began to turn, the coward struck a fierce blow upon my noble hand. Darkness swallowed me before I could land a single strike. When I woke, he was gone. 30 minutes later, I used an emergency phone to notify the police. I like Gumshoe. I'm just saying what Atme is saying. So you didn't get a clear look at the criminal. My specially made monocle never misses a thing. However, that is limited to things that fall within my own visual range. But of course, as only natural. I fail to see why the witness seems so proud of his performance that evening. Well, so old-timer, let me explain. We are not speaking of any ordinary thief, but of the king of thieves, the great Master Mas, my arch-enemy. That is what my instincts and my years of experience... Years? Master Mas hasn't been around for years yet, no? Very well. Proceed with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Sure. It's like, I didn't actually get to see the guy because he knocked me out. Okay. Great. That's fair. That's fair. Mr. Adme, can you take a look at this with that special monocle of yours? Aha! This belongs to the criminal mastermind, my arch-nemesis, Master Mask. It is, in point of fact, Master Mask's brooch. It was found on the floor of the basement warehouse. I wonder how that happened. Elementary, my dear lawyer. Obviously, it wasn't glued on well enough. Not quite. It clearly shows signs of having been ripped off a piece of clothing. Ripped off? Ah! You can only deduce that the thief struggled with someone that night. That's the only thing I can think of. Really? Aren't both of those things valid? Valid ways to raid brooch. Interesting. Oh my god. Oh. Ah. Yeah, broach, like, to broach a topic in conversation. Interesting. There's only one person that was in a position to have a struggle with a thief. The only person that was on security duty that night, you, Detective Acme. Detective Acme, you must have fought with the thief that night. So why did you lie in your testimony to the court? Witness! Giving false testimony is a serious crime. Not that anyone ever really gets in trouble for it, though, so keep on. Wait just a moment, Sir Oldtimer. Don't talk to me like I'm living in a nursing home. I just remembered you. I'm just confused because I've been dealing with so many cases lately.
Welcome in. Thank you for the follow.
True measure of a man is the amount of work he does. That's what I always say.
Nick, you can only handle one case at a time, isn't that right? That's because that's how the game is made.
You talk too much. Witness, so you're now saying that you and the thief fought? Hold on. That's quite enough. Your Honor? Excuse me. Save the big questions for the testimony. That's one of my roles. Indeed, I understand. I, look at me, agree completely.
Hi, Sammy. Good evening.
Given the Indeed, it's true that I looked away from the door for a brief moment. However, look at me cannot be so easily discombobulated. This what now? Unfortunately, the thief grabbed the weapon from the side and ran at me senseless. A true gentleman fights only with his own fists, but they were not enough. His first blow struck true. Bang! And that's all she wrote. Okay. So in the end, you did catch a glimpse of Master Mask. Discombobulations, especially the need for knocking someone out. That's a horrendously long word for knocking someone out. It was during his third crime that he struck me from behind. It seems that my memory has become a tad jumbled, so to speak. Well, that's certainly understandable. I myself always get confused about which testimony goes with which case. That can't be good. I will say it again every time. How is this specific judge still in... Like, how does he still retain his job? Can you tell us a little more about what happened? My opponent was both powerful and vicious. You might say he was power-vicious. Power-vicious? I assumed he had me fighting stance, but a sudden flash of light blinded me. That, of course, was checkmate. My opponent had bested me. What do you do now? Should I ask more about this? The at-me fighting style. No one likes to judge. I mean, yeah. I feel like if we had a more serious judge, sometimes we wouldn't get half as far as we can get with some of these cases, so... I'll take it. What's his at-me fighting style? I'm sorry, but it's a trade secret. I really can't say anymore. But I suppose I can tell you if I absolutely must. The main thing is to put your back to the wall, that way no one can get behind you. That's it? That's the Ethme fighting style?
Hi, Humpy, good evening.
Well, Mr. Ray, what about that testimony? Sure, I don't know, edit, I guess. Of course, it's important. We've learned it's like a secret technique after all. Yes, indeed. I'll remember to use it if I ever take a walk home late at night. What the heck is the eyeballing me like that? It's freaking me out. I'm doing fine. I hope you're well. It's next to the wall. He can't be struck from behind, can he? No, I mean... Yeah, but he also doesn't have a lot of room to really deal with anything. Now the witness. Go ahead and add that secret information to your official testimony. So it's no longer a secret. Put your back to the wall to fight, but please blow landing upon your third eye. Your third eye? Your monocle? Is your monocle your third eye? Oh, that's not what I wanted to press. One, two, Where's this third eye you're talking about? Oh, it's right between my right and left eyebrows. It's quite invisible to the unenlightened. You may call it the forehead if you like. Why didn't you just say that in the first place? So, lawyer, it looks like the creases in your own forehead are getting deeper. So Mr. Ami got hit in the forehead then? That's what he says. Got a funny feeling about that? Yeah. Okay. He's now saying he got hit in the forehead. But it doesn't work out. Detective Atme, your testimony's crumbling like a house of cards. What fun this is, so long. It's truly a pleasure to cross swords with you. And now, once again, you have thrown down the gauntlet at my armored feet. I believe this is what you said yesterday. I just realized, but why are his earlobes so much bigger in this portray of him than on his actual sprite? So is anyone else seeing this? Why is his earlobe so much bigger than on his sprite? Okay. Carl must have warmed his way into with somewhere besides the door, then I struck you in the head from behind. Exactly. Now you said you were hit in the forehead. Fine, huh? But just now you testified that he struck you in the forehead. How do you think you could forget where you were hit on the head? It seems I've made another mistake. Detective Atme, that's not the only strange part of your testimony. What do you mean by that? For example, the very fact that you hit the calling card from the police itself is strange. It's almost as if you were afraid they were going to help with security. Geniuses such as myself have always been misunderstood. How sad. That's wrong. To err is human, to forgive divine. Humans aren't machines. They have souls, feelings. They live, they die, they love, they hate. And yes, they even make mistakes. That's not the point I'm trying to make. Hold on. It isn't as pretty as that. Really? What is it like then? I always chase a riddle down to the end. That's one of my rules. This is it. This might just be my chance to turn things around. Mr. Wright, what exactly is it that you're asserting? Very well, Your Honor. The defense asserts that Mr. Atme is mas. It is a very bitter, a very dark coffee, yeah. The answer is simple. It's all clear to me now. Detective Luke Atmey's true identity is actually masked. A mask. What kind of sprite is that? Oh yeah, Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? There are too many unnatural parts to Mr. Atmey's story. He says he was hiding at the crime scenes, which is why no one ever saw him there. And then, in his last case, he manages to outperform Detective Gumshoe and the entire police force to miraculously retrieve the stolen treasure. That's because I analyzed the crime scene data and made an exquisitely elegant deduction. I picked up clues that the police overlooked in order to arrive at a... Please, the explanation is far simpler than that, Detective Atmey. The truth is that you are, in fact, Master Mask. Mr. Wright, this photo, it clearly shows Master Mask. The security camera belongs to Lord Taylor department store. He shouldn't have been able to manipulate it. He didn't need to manipulate it. He gained access to the warehouse under the pretense of providing security. Then he simply dressed up as a thief and stole the urn. So, the ace detective is actually an ace thief. Is this true, witness? The master's most pure genius, and so am I, Luke Atmey, ace detective. You're very clever to have come to such a conclusion. I am impressed, Sir Lawyer. What? Witness, you admitting it? Nick, now's your chance. Time to put the last nail in this guy's coffin. Detective Atmey, when you assumed the thief's identity... Ah, yes. Godot blend 102, my personal favorite. Mr. Godot. The ace detective is actually an ace thief. I smell a best-selling novel. There's only one problem, it simply isn't true. Mr. Godot, Mr. Wright has made some very strong points, and I will admit my opponent has woven a compelling narrative out of whole cloth. But it is, in fact, nothing more than a patchwork quilt. Guilt? Mr. Trey, if this detective really is a thief, then show us a proof of your claim. But it had better be as hot and as perfect as the coffee dripping down your face. How Phoenix isn't suffering like at least second-degree burns right at this fucking moment? Okay. Mr. Wright, don't just stand there! This court would like to see this decisive proof you have. Quickly! Huh? Yes, of course. What's a big rush? Are you alright, Nick? He looks pretty rattled right now. I'd like to finish this right now if I can. I really do. Decisive evidence that proves Mr. Luke Atmey is in fact the Master Mask is yet to be found. Proof! Of course I've got nothing. Just what I thought. A man has to hold his head up high no matter how bad things get, after all. Yeah. I see. I thought perhaps you had some evidence to back up your assertion. It's not good, I've got to stay under attack. I'll never get another chance to prove that this guy is a thief. Don't give up, Nick. Think hard and try again. Good, I'm just not ready. Are you going to just give up and let us lose this? So you've come to your senses, have you, Sir Lawyer? I can't think of a counterattack at all. Seems the cloud of suspicion surrounding this witness has lifted. Mr. Goodall, if you have anything further to add, then... But who? Who are you? That doesn't really matter right now, does it? Mr. Light, what are you doing here? Nicky boy, the thing you've been looking for? I think I found it. You mean the bag? No, not the bag. What's in the bag? Oh? It's fixed! It doesn't say I am anymore. Huh, that's... Sacred urn! Nick, it's the urn! Oh, she's even wearing red shoes. Goddamn. Madame, the urn... Where did you find it? You never believe it.
It was in the office of Mr. Fancy Pants Ace Detective. Look at me. Yes, you're the best. On the office of Look at Me has pink splotches all over it. Well, how do you explain that one, Mr. Atme? Even you are going to have a hard time weaseling out of this one.
Objection.
Does this even count as proper evidence, though, if just some random person brings it in here and it's like, oh, I found it there, and they're like... This hasn't gone through the proper channels to be allowed as evidence, right? Right? Pathetic. Mr. Godot, do you have something you wish to say? Yes, Your Honor. It simply amazes me how quickly times change. In the old days, a man was to be taken at his word. It's truly sad. You're still denying that Mr. Atme was involved. Before casting aspersions at Detective Atme, consider the young lady here. Your name is Desiree Delight, is that correct? Yes, what about it? How charming. The lengths that a woman is willing to go to save her husband is truly inspiring. What are you insinuating? As the wife of the criminal, you could have discovered that stolen urn anywhere. Including the office of the good detective here. So you found the urn. What does that prove? It certainly doesn't prove where the urn was before you found it. What? I just brought it here from the detective's office. Please, madame. This town is already filled to the brim with lies. Any more could only compound the tragedy we've been witness to. You're wrong. I would never do such a thing. Miss Delight, you sneaky boy, you've got to help me talk some sense into these people. Must be some way. To prove that urn was actually the Atme Detective Agency. Or fingerprints, maybe. I can prove where the urn was. Where the fingerprints on it. Fingerprints, eh? Oh, come now. No, you're really making me laugh, Sir Lawyer. Fingerprints, indeed. May I go on? Good. It would be perfectly understandable if my fingerprints were on the urn. After all, it was I who was guarding the urn in the first place. In any case, I'm always in the habit of wearing gloves, as you can see. So unfortunately, my fingerprints wouldn't be evidence of anything. What about it, Mr. Wright? This witness's fingerprints would mean nothing anyway. Nick, what are you going to do now? Can't afford to turn back now. Atme must have brought the urn back to his office yesterday. And there, I'm sure someone must have left the fingerprints on it. Yeah! We did. Defense proposes that his fingerprints of this person should be on the urn. This is my 3rd year as a young but skilled lawyer. Oh. Oh, Phoenix. Are you cute? 26. Yay! So what is all this fuss about fingerprints anyway? Mr. Atme, do you recall the events of yesterday? Yep. Open it up. You can. It's true that I didn't get a chance to look in the back at the time, but I did touch what was inside. I touched it. And I remember it very well. It was smooth and hard. Well, that was just... Your Honor, I'd like the court to examine the fingerprints on an urn. If my fingerprints are on there, then it proves that the urn was in Detective Atme's office.
Objection.
Well, even if your fingerprints are on the urn, it still doesn't prove when they were put there, does it? Of course it does. What did you say?
Oh, yeah.
It's not what I say, but what Adrian Anders, the person in charge of the exhibition, said. Yeah, you polished it until it was just about glowing. If she polished it that much, she must have removed any and all fingerprints on it. And the only chance I had to get my fingerprints on it after that was yesterday at the Acme Detective Agency. Huh. Splend, Godot Blan 107. I've decided it's a little too bitter after all. Accept the defense's request. Bailiff, take this turn and... Wait a moment, Your Honor. There's no need for that.
No need, you say?
Precisely. I already know Mr. Wright's fingerprints are on the urn.
What are you saying?
Yes! Finally broken him down. Oh, Phoenix, when did we ever actually finish a case and win? Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. This guy is nuttier than a fruitcake. Should there be nuts in a fruitcake? Should there be?
You see, it was me all along. I'm the one and only Mask. The Mask.
God damn, what's going on with your eyes?
I hope you all enjoyed my little performance.
Okay. Well, Mr. Godot, what's Mr. Atmy's condition? He's still in the lobby, laughing insanely, Your Honor. I wish I could enjoy the joke as much as he seems to be. Oh, looks like the matter's been settled. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of thief.
Nick, you were right after all.
Yeah, guess Mr. Delight really wasn't a thief. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight.
You're wrong. Wrong, I tell you. I mean... Not exactly wrong so much, but actually not right is what I was really trying to say.
Oh no, he's not. Oh, this can't be happening.
Thief! A sneaky... odious a thief who's been stealing all the treasures. It's me. I'm him. I'm the one you want. I'm the thief, I tell you. Let's do it. Pronounce me guilty, please.
I don't know what kind of kangaroo court you all think this is, but... The true identity of the thief is already been proven. Please hurry and pass the judge.
What are you talking about? I already confessed. I'm the thief, I tell you.
Mr. Godot, don't just stand there drinking coffee. Hey there, Mr. Thief.
Yes, sir?
If you're really a man, then clean up your own mess.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I just don't have any idea what you mean.
If you're a master, then prove it. That's what it means.
Yes, sir. I'd be happy to.
Says he'd be happy to, Nick. It's kinda cute. He's 100% committed to his fantasy. Good boy. Just remember one thing. A boy only gets one chance in his life to become a man.
I know that. I won't fade, I swear.
Okay then, talk. We're all listening. Oh well. Let's all have a listen to this confession. Just given up, he's just like, you know what? You people can do the whole court yourself. I'm just gonna go.
The truth is, I've been Master Mask all along. I mean, you can prove that I'm not actually Master Mask, can you? I have an alibi for the night the urn was stolen after all. I donned my costume that night and dancingly descended upon the scene of the crime. Look, you can see right there in the photo, that's me. I saw my brooch, I snagged it on a door handle and it got torn off, that's all.
I don't like the direction this trial was taken. This is how every trial goes, at least with me, anyway. You're doing great.
Stop it, Mr. Godot, you're embarrassing me.
Like I said, you're only going to get one chance to testify, right? If you make it through this with flying colors, I'll keep my promise too. I'll make sure you stay locked up in prison as the one and only true Master Mask.
Thanks so much, Mr. Godot. I'll do my best.
Alright, Mr. Wright, I'm afraid it's time for the cross-examination. Why does this guy want to get put into prison so badly? What is your problem? Mr. Delight, this wallet belongs to you, correct?
Yes, it does. I had lost it somewhere.
Mr. Wright, when you find a wallet, you should report it to the police right away.
No, you don't understand.
This is an important piece of evidence. Evidence? Mr. Delight, when did you first notice that you'd lost your wallet?
Let's see. I think it was on the night of the crime. But I know I still had it when Desi and I went out for dinner.
This wallet was found at approximately 1 AM at KB Security Headquarters. Surely you're not serious.
Yes, I am serious.
This proves that Mr. Delight was in fact at KB Security that night.
No! Why do you want to be proven guilty so badly?
If the defendant was at KB Security at 1 o'clock in the morning, then that proves that he has a watertight alibi. Furthermore, considering the distance between Lodi Taylor and KB Security, it would have taken 30 minutes to get there by car. According to Larry, anyway. Well, the anime has told us that Phoenix doesn't actually have a car. Phoenix rides his bike, so it will probably have taken him even longer. Mr. Godot, do you have anything to say? And stop drinking that coffee. Come on, Mr. Thief. Don't let this guy beat you. Tell him why he's wrong.
You're the only one who calls me thief, Mr. Godot. Alright, I'll try. I'll do it. I will.
It's really got Mr. Delight all worked up. Yeah, he's like a kid at his first day of school.
Look, it's just ridiculous. Why would I have dropped my wallet at KB Security? Someone must have planted it in there to make it look like I was there, not the heist.
Planted it there? He's really reaching now. Mr. Delight, you probably dropped your wallet when you took it out to use this, didn't you? The keycard to KB Security's CEO's office. That was a pretty good try, Mr. Try. Unfortunately, you've overlooked one small thing.
What?
Motive, of course. Why would the thief go to KB Security in the middle of the night anyway? Well, Mr. Wright, looks like you need some more evidence after all. Stupid kid. It's okay. Now then, let's see your evidence. The evidence that shows why Mr. Delight went to KB Security at 1 AM that night. He was being blackmailed. Mr. Delight, I believe you've seen this before, correct?
That's...
What is it? A blackmail letter. That's what it looks like from the contents. Blackmail. Yes, basically it says, bring $50,000. I like that it says dollars twice, technically. Bring $50,000. That certainly sounds like blackmail, alright. At the time of the theft, Mr. Delight was dealing with the blackmailer himself. In KB Security CEO office, a full half an hour away from the scene of the crime. Wow. How much does fit into that? Oh. So when the theft of the urn occurred, the defendant was at KB Security. Looks like a perfect case for the defense. You may see it as a perfect case, Judge, but to me... Well, let's just say that my Godot Blend 107 impresses me a lot more. What are you trying to say? You say the thief was being blackmailed by the CEO of a security company. But did you actually investigate the CEO at all? Huh? Well, no, I guess not. Accusing a man of blackmail with no proof. I'm not sure what I think of that. Not sure what I think of that. At least I know what I think of you. Good point. I'm not sure what I think of it myself. You claim that the defendant entered the CEO's office, but you will need at least one witness to corroborate your claim, Mr. Wright.
I think we're going to have to track down the CEO guy.
No, we don't have to track down the CEO at all. What do you mean by that, Mr. Trite? There's someone else who can testify. There's the person who can testify that the keycard was used at 1 AM that night, though I really don't want him on the witness stand, but I guess. He's the only one we have right now. Who's this useless looking young man? You don't remember him, Your Honor? Not exactly. Just looking at his picture makes the bile start to rise in my throat. Looks like he doesn't remember the case from 2 years ago. Probably blocked out the memory on purpose. Anyway, this man was working as a guard at KB Security that night. Oh. The question at hand is this keycard.
It's a keycard I use in the building you work?
Yep. As you can see, there's no need to investigate the CEO of KB Security. We should be able to discover the truth simply by analyzing this keycard's data. Well, Mr. Godot, the name of the CEO of KB Security is Kane Bullitt. I wasn't able to contact him directly, but I got the keycard data. Here. So what does it show? Each keycard has its own serial number and they leave detailed records of their use. According to this data, this card was used at 1 AM on the morning of the crime. Aha! But that means it can't be Mr. Delight dressed as Master Mask in this photo. It looks like you're right. 2 minutes isn't even enough time to brew a good cup of joe. So then... Ron Delight was clearly in the office of KB Security's CEO at the time of the crime. The prosecutor's office is ready to admit that fact. Therefore, it's impossible for the defendant to be Master Mask.
Good job! You did it, Nick!
That's enough. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, smirching him with the title of thief. What's wrong, Your Honor? I'm ready to pass judgment, but before I do that, do you have any further objections? No, Your Honor. Very well. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Ron Delight, not guilty. Court is now adjourned. What a good case, right? District Court, defendant lobby number 4. I can see.
Nick, you did it. You were right after all. Actually, I'm a little bit ashamed of myself. Nicky boy. Oh, Missy Light. I knew you could do it. I believed in you all along, Nicky boy. I don't know how I can ever repay you.
Aw, shucks. Thanks, Mr. Light.
I just know I'm blushing and I...
Oh. Trying to read without my glasses is making my eyes hurt even more. This is not good.
Congratulations, Mr. Nick.
Oh, pearls. Got a bad feeling about this.
Who is this woman?
Oh, she's nobody. She's just,
You're blushing. How dare you do this in front of Mystic Maya? You should be ashamed of yourself.
Why is this child slapping me? Hello? Who raised you that this is an acceptable course of action to take? Hello? Ouch, she slapped me.
Pearly? This woman is Miss Desiree Delight. She's our client's wife. Mr. Nick!
Yes?
Even worse than I thought. Going behind the back of your own client.
Girl! No, you gotta...
I'll never forgive you.
Stop! Why is this child being violent? I know your mom is in jail, but Jesus Christ. Ow. Double slap.
Well, anyway, all's well and ends well, right?
Except this case is not over, and also I don't think we should let Pearl just go around slapping people, but maybe that's just me.
We got the sacred urn back and the thief has been caught. You're so right, and it's all thanks to Nicky Boy here. Actually, it was you, Misty Light, that brought us our urn back. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, please, you're embarrassing me. If we won the case, then why does this guy still look so glum? But I am the thief. Actually, what's the point now?
What is it, honey?
I did my best for you, Ronnie.
I know that, I appreciate it, Desi. But the thing is...
Come on, give the kid some time. She's got a little touch of the blues. You know about feeling blue, right, amigo? Sakado, what are you doing here? Oh, come on, I just came here to say thanks to my newest buddy. You, Mr. Trite. Maybe you should learn my name before you call me buddy. Well, playtime is over. Huh? Early this morning, the body of Kane Bullard was discovered. Kane Bullard? I haven't heard that name before. Oh, you know. Isn't it the name of the CEO of KB Security? Wait, body? Estimated time of death was 1 a.m. on October 12th.
You know earlier how we said, oh, no one was killed yet? Huh? Ah. 1 a.m. on October 12th. You don't mean...
That's right, amigo.
At the same time that cheap little urn was being stolen, the CEO of KB Security was being murdered.
So then, what are you doing here? Oh, come on. You figured it out already, haven't you, amigo? Or have you already forgotten about the piece of info I helped you out with today?
Help me out? What?
On October 12th at 1 o'clock in the morning, Ron Light was in the CEO's office. The scene of the murder.
After getting that blackmail letter, he must have been imbued with utter rage. What are you saying? Imbued with rage?
Come on, don't tell me you didn't know. Ron Light was once an employee of KB Security. He was a professional security guard.
An employee of KB Security?
Looks like the alibi that saved him from being convicted as a thief is going to be the news that gets him hanged. Kind of an anti-alibi.
No way.
He can't be the thief because he was at the murder scene when the murder occurred.
No, that's a lie. It can't be true.
But I'm a thief, I tell you. Ronnie Light, you're going back to prison again. This time, the charge is much more serious. This time, you'll be tried for murder.
What? This is impossible. So thank you for the hiding time in the pack.
Looking forward to another exciting showdown, Mr. Trite. You and I aren't through with each other yet. Surely you won't back down from a challenge. You've never been a coward.
Mr. Nick, is there something personal between you two?
I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. At least let me have some fun while I'm here. This guy? Who the heck is he? He may be quiet, but he's the most dangerous enemy I've ever faced. Well then, time to say goodbye to Mr. Delight.
Nick, how could this be happening? Well, a very simple reason actually. We only ever do murder cases, so the fact that we weren't doing a murder case and only someone stealing something should have tipped us off earlier.
Actually. Right in front of our very eyes, our client has been arrested for murder. And the one who established his presence at the scene was me. Oh, okay. It's okay, ma'am. We'll get to the bottom of this. Arrested for murder on the very same day he's declared innocent of larceny. What the heck's going to happen next? Considering that throwing coffee is indeed dangerous. He loves throwing stuff at our face. But yeah, how Phoenix goes through life, like he got hit over the head with fire extinguisher before. He's repeatedly getting coffee thrown at his face. This man is indestructible unless it's needed for a tutorial sequence. Then he will suffer amnesia, but aside from that, he's indestructible. And I really, truly, truly mean that. You haven't even seen the worst of his indestructibleness. That's not a word. Yet. Considering some of the events in later games, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Jesus Christ.
You know, I'm glad we found the urn and all, but poor Mr. Delight got arrested again.
Well, supposedly Mr. Delight was in the CEO's office when the murder occurred.
No way, Jose. I don't buy it. But the one who proved that Mr. Delight was there was Mr. Nick himself. At least from what I can understand. Looks like you did too good of a job this time, Nick.
Well, how about we get started looking into the KB security murder?
I think I'm going to head back to Kurain Village for a little while, if that's alright.
What's happening to my voice?
For a little while. For a little while. There we go.
Sure, but why?
I'm going to bring the sacred urn back and have some people take a look at it.
That's a good idea. I think I go with...
No, Mystic Maya, you should stay here. I want you two to spend some special quality time together full of love and happiness. We are working a case, Burley.
Delta's so caught up in her fantasy, she forgot there's a murder to solve.
Now remember, no fighting. No fighting.
He's gone.
Okay, Nick, time to get going on this murder investigation.
Sure. So what do we do now?
Isn't it obvious we should get out there and investigate the murder?
First we need to find out exactly where KB Security is located.
Hey, why don't we ask Misty Light? She should know. Besides, I want to ask her some stuff about motorcycles.
Motorcycles? You're not thinking of getting one, are you?
I'm not the same little Maya who used to be happy with a dinky little bike, Nicky boy.
Speaking of asking around, I've got a few questions of my own for Mr. Delight.
Okay, well, let's make sure to go to the detention center too.
Sure. Must we really forget the sacred urn back, huh?
You bet. But there's something a little different about it. Don't at me. It's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, take a look at this. It clearly says I am on the urn in the poster. But the urn we got back says Ami, like it always used to.
Yeah, you're right.
Plus, the vase has pink splotches on it now. I'm sure they weren't there before.
Maya doesn't know, but 1 year ago when the urn was broken, the repairer accidentally turned Mystic Ami's name into I am. And the repairer was one mechanically unskilled little crooks. Still, I don't remember ever seeing pink splotches on it. It got teleported into the Danganronpa universe for like 5 minutes.
Is it possible that urn is a fake?
I'm sure Pearls will find out about it once she gets back to Kurain Village.
Yeah, I suppose.
Now I think about it, Maya hasn't been back to Kurain Village in a long time. So, I guess people still go to Kurain Village to do their training, right?
Yep. If you want to become a spirit medium, you need to undergo severe training.
So why haven't you been training lately, Maya?
Well, lately I've been thinking of heading to a channeling dojo to do just that.
A channeling dojo, huh? That's pretty serious, whatever that is.
If you're going to train, you have to be serious, otherwise real tragedies can happen.
Is what happened last year still bothering you? Murder in a village should happen because the power of channeling was misused. When a medium uses the Kurain technique, she temporarily loses her own will. So when an especially strong spirit is summoned, the spirit medium can get taken over and even forced to commit terrible crimes. What's worse in those cases, the spirit medium has no memory of what happened. The murder, it wasn't your fault, Maya. You know that, don't you?
I suppose not, but I guess I'm still a bit shaken out, that's all.
Sounds like being the master of Kurain is going to be a heavy responsibility. Of course it is. Let's start with you then.
Oh, Nicky boy, Maya!
Misty Light.
All I wanted to do was help my dear Ronnie.
Yeah, I guess it ended up hurting his case.
Don't say that, Nick. She doesn't need your help beating herself up. Nicky boy, please help Ronnie. He's not a killer, I swear. My Ronnie wouldn't hurt a fly.
Alright, poke around and see what I can find out.
Really? Are you serious? I'm so happy. I knew asking for your help was the right thing to do. I don't know what I can do to help anymore.
I had no idea Misty Light had such a vulnerable side.
Listen carefully, Nicky boy. My Ronnie would never ever kill anyone. It's just not in him. I don't think he would either, Nick.
Yeah, but you have to admit he's got a bit of a temper to him. It's not that hard to imagine him just snapping and screaming, "Please die!"
He would never say that. Anyway, Mr. Light, he might not be a killer, but he's still going around saying that he's a thief.
I already told you, that's just a fantasy for him. Misty Light, I hate to say it, but you're the one living in a fantasy world.
How dare you say that to me, Nicky boy? I know everything about my Ronnie. We don't have any secrets between us. Ronnie isn't a thieving type. He's so honest that he wouldn't even sneak a nap. He's so honest that he wouldn't even steal a glance. A thief. The very idea.
I guess I just don't get it.
Huh? Get what?
I just can't understand how they can be so different and yet be such a happy couple.
Yeah, they sure are different. Come on now, Nicky boy. It's not that mysterious, is it? It was love at first sight. For me, anyway.
What? For you?
Oh. I hate these kinds of people more than anything.
You mean ace detectives?
No, I'm fine with ace detectives.
Oh,
so then you must mean thieves. No, they're alright too. I just hate thieves that pretend to be ace detectives. There's nothing I hate more than cowardly men. By the way, why did you go to Detective Admi's office anyway? Well, as the trial went on, I started to get more and more anxious. I wanted to try to find out more about the real criminal.
The real criminal?
Yes, obviously the real Master Mask is on my Ronnie, right?
Yeah?
And Detective Admi knew more with Master Mask than anyone else. They mentioned him on the Great People Around Town segment on TV.
So then, you went there to ask me some questions?
That's right. I'll do whatever it takes to save my man. The secretary said that the ace detective isn't in right now. But I forced my way past her into his hideout.
I wouldn't exactly call that office a hideout.
The bag was sitting right there on top of the table. Oh yeah, we saw that back there yesterday too. There's nothing lower than someone who would try to pin a crime on someone else. Misty Light, do you know about KV security?
Don't be silly, of course I do. That's where my Ronnie works.
So she thinks he still works there, huh?
Yet according to what we heard today, he was an employee. Ron quit. He doesn't work there anymore.
Looks like Misty Light doesn't know. KV security is only about 20 minutes away, by motorcycle that is.
Larry told me it takes 30 minutes by car.
Well, I have to admit I tend to fly pretty fast on my bike.
To make it to KV security that fast, are you sure you aren't literally flying?
Why don't I give you a ride sometimes? Or better yet, how about now? No, I'll pass, thanks.
Why don't you just tell us where it is and we'll go ourselves?
What a scaredy cat you are, Nick.
This guy told us the location of KV security.
Okay, let's head over there right away.
No, I have one more thing I want to ask her.
So was it really love at first sight when you first met Mr. Delight? Well, maybe not first sight, but Ronnie saved my life.
Really? Saved your life?
I was at work one day when two robbers suddenly rushed in. I'm not the kind to just curl into a little ball in a corner, so I fought back.
Robbers?
Yeah, they took me hostage. I was so frightened. They were both carrying these huge knives, and I broke down into tears.
Yeah, I would too if I were in that situation.
I think I get it. Did Mr. Delight come running to save you? Yes, exactly. I remember he looked so handsome in that guard uniform of his. He ran right up to those two knife-wielding robbers and screamed in their faces. Please stop it! He screamed. I could see the robber's faces turn pale.
Why does the guy on the right... Oh, okay, he's getting covered by the chat mostly. It looked like he just has a giant condom on his face. The happy streak of his does have a surprisingly strong effect on people.
Then, crying and swinging his arms like crazy, he attacked the two robbers. All by himself, he came to save me, a total stranger, all by himself. He was so scared that he was crying and shaking, but he still risked his life for me. How was he a security guard, though? I have to ask. If he's so scared of literally anything and everything, how was he a security guard? It's a great story. Yes, he may not look it, but in a tough situation, there's no one better. That's why I fell in love with him like I did. Oh, that's so romantic. I fell in love too, I guess. Nick, I hope you do the same for me if I ever get taken hostage. You were taken hostage before. Actually, that's a recurring problem, Maya. You either have to bail you out because people accuse you of murder, or you get taken hostage and then they accuse you of murder. So, like, hello. I'm not a fancy lady, but hello to you too. In my other possibility always seems to loom in the not so distant future. Okay. KB Security CEO's office. Guess this is where it all went down, huh? The walls in here look thick, just like you'd expect in a CEO's office. What's that got to do with anything? Hey, it's you guys. Nice, Detective Gumshoe. Today was a real train wreck for you guys, huh? Sure was, pal. The prosecutor made real fools out of us. Yeah, I feel for you. That's not like you at all. I thought you'd be more like, oh, that was great. You guys got what you deserve, pal. Or something to that effect. Why did I make him sort of French? You got what you deserve, pal. Do it really sound like that to you, pal? If the Gumshoe fits. Well, anyway. The point is I can tell when someone puts their heart into their jobs. And I can sympathize when things don't go your way. Sometimes I feel like wrong is the only way things go for us detectives. Wow, I had no idea Detective Gumshoe was such a nice guy. Well, I mean, he's never been mean to us. If I might say so, I don't think Gumshoe's ever been outright mean to Phoenix. But if this little love fest is over, maybe you can start investigating? Sure. Detective Gumshoe, tell us what you know about the murder. Okay, but the thing is I'm really not supposed to. When has I ever stopped you before? Come on, what about how we put our hearts into our work? Things are really working against us right now. We need help. Okay, I'll tell you. Just don't start crying on me, okay, pal? Okay, I won't cry on you, pal. Victim's name is Kane Bullard. What kind of wordplay is that supposed to be? Kane? Kane Bullard. Kane Bull. Kane Bull. Bullard. He was the CEO of KB Security and a pretty big fella in his own right. His corpse was discovered at 9 this morning. His estimated time of death was 1 in the morning on October 12th. Cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head, probably an object in this room. At exactly the same time that Master Max was sealing the urn, huh? Time of death. 1 AM, cerebral hemorrhaging from blunt trauma to the head. So why did it take almost an entire day to discover the body? That's a good explanation for that one. Bullock's body was stashed away inside that safe. Safe? Well, he is pretty big. Nobody had heard from him, and when they opened the safe this morning, out he came. Oh, so the body fell out. The white string must be the shape from when he fell out. I think we still need some more information about Mr. Billiard. Let's start by getting the man's name right. Billiard. So, what happened to Master Mas? He's at the detention center screaming like a madman. Investigate me again! He keeps yelling. No, I didn't mean him. He's not the real thief anyway, right? Oh, you mean that detective at me? Oh, that was great. The guy got what he deserved. Now that's a detective I know and love. Think about it. Atme was always around when a calling card showed. He almost mysteriously disappeared when the heist took place. He's hiding at the crime scene. Yeah, right. It's the lamest thing I've ever heard. That's how you just knew he was a thief.
That would explain how he was able to retrieve the stolen item he keeps bragging about. Yeah, he just did it to make himself look like a great detective, that's all. This is one thing I can't figure out about his first heist. His first heist? Yeah, the two of Amanon case. There was a witness on them. A witness? Here, I saved the newspaper clipping. Since the thief is already in the arrest, you guys can keep it.
Oh, yay, thank you.
The gem and the thief. This guard here, haven't I seen him somewhere before? It's pretty small, so it's kind of hard to see, but now that she mentions it...
Oh, the prosecutor. I really don't like that guy. The way he used our own evidence to do that to Mr. Delight.
Yeah, I think he did it that way just because he knew it hurt more. That's what my gut tells me anyway. So who is that Java-addicted masked maniac anyway? Prosecutor Godot? He's quite the enigma, huh? Thing is, pal, I never even heard of the guy before. He just showed up one day at the prosecutor's office, came out of nowhere. That's right, he said this was his first case as a prosecutor. And it's true, according to the records anyway, but... No way he's an amateur. He's an Irishman in court, a maverick that gave me goosebumps. Goosebumps? You? Yeah, I knew something was off about him, so I asked around. Now, both of you talk to me, they all just turned the other way.
Oh, Detective Gumshoe, I had no idea you were so unpopular.
No, that's not what I meant. The Godot guy acts like he knows me and has a grudge against me. I get the feeling he's hiding some kind of dark secret. Whatever makes you think that.
Detective Gumshoe, tell us more about Mr. Shane Bluebad.
It's Kane Bullard, not Shane Bluebard, Paul.
Oh, yeah. The victim in this case just doesn't make much of an impression on me.
Well, you were the victim up until Mr. Bullard was found dead.
Yeah, and his body wasn't discovered until this morning. Anyway, we don't have enough information yet. Can you help us out?
Sorry, I'm actually a little confused myself. For some reason, I'm just blabbing like an idiot right now.
Okay, now's our chance to get more info about the victim, so hurry up and ask.
Can you tell us some more info, some more about Mr. Bullard?
He was the CEO of KB Security, right? What kind of company is it anyway?
Well, the company basically sends security teams out to buildings to guard them. Mr. Bullard must have had a chance to learn a lot of secrets doing this kind of work. Oh, and? And so I don't know how to put this, but the guy was kind of a money grubber.
Really? Me too. I just love money. I can never get enough.
You stop leaning in towards me like that? You aren't getting to my wallet. Anyway, looks like he did some pretty shifty stuff to earn his millions.
Oh, so that's my problem. I need to be shifty.
Go on, Randy. Apparently he was involved in selling trade secrets between rival companies.
Oh, that's pretty dirty and underhanded.
Yeah. Oh, KB Security used to head security operations against Master.
Really?
Yeah, and after screwing up so many times, the company's reputation really took a nosedive. So it really was Bullard who sent Ron the blackmailer, huh? What's this giant book? Check out this big, thick binder here.
Leave the heavy lifting to me, Nick.
Reading a file isn't exactly backbreaking work, just a little hard on the eyes.
What did you find out, Nick?
This file, it's not about any sort of security operations or anything. This huge file is all about Master Mask. It's filled with info on him.
What kind of info?
It's filled with incredibly detailed information about his methods and the crime scenes.
Nick, look at the last page.
It's a list, let's see. T of Emanon, 100,000. It looks like a list of all the treasures that Master Mask stole.
Then 100,000 is the value of the stolen item?
I don't know, the number sounds kind of low to me. I think I better secretly make a copy of this list. Secretly! What's this giant button doing?
Oh, there's a button here, let's see.
Don't press the giant red button. Willy-nilly.
Cut it out, don't press that. That was pretty funny. I never knew Detective Gumshoe could jump like that.
What's the button anyway?
It's an emergency buzzer. It says it right there on the panel. Oh, you're right. It's written right there. Nick, how many times have I told you to read the instructions first?
This alarm's connected to the basement guard room. It's used to summon security up here. Really? And it's possible on the night of the crime.
Oh, so when the CEO was attacked, do you think that maybe he pressed the buzzer?
Yeah, I thought about that, so I asked around down there. But they said that the buzzer never went off that night. Also, we couldn't find any fingerprints on the buzzer. Mr. Bullet, the victim, wasn't wearing any gloves, by the way, just so you know. We better go talk to the guard about the emergency buzzer. Okay, there are no fingerprints on that.
So, you think it fell out of the safe when it was open?
I don't think so.
So you mean...
Yeah. I think the string shows where and how the corpse was lying.
You mean the victim... He was killed by being crushed by the safe door?
She can't be serious, can she?
I mean, we already have the cause of Maya, please.
Oh, this is really something else.
The security guard officer sure doesn't feel very secure.
Maybe security guard. I just remembered. Larry might be.
Hey Nick, what's up?
Hey. He is here. He still does have this job. He still has this job, so why wouldn't he be here? Yo, how's it hanging, dude? Got my sweet little Maya with you too.
Hi, Larry.
Hey, I was working my fingers to the bone and in walks an angel. Got no problems with the daytime date, it's all good. No, that's not what we're here for. We're investigating the Bullet murder case. Huh? Oh yeah! That's right, you're a lawyer, aren't you? I'm so hopelessly clueless. Well, if it's about the murder case, boy, have I got some good info for you.
Really? What is it?
Well, I don't mind sharing with my sweet little Maya, but Nick here's a different story.
But Larry, I thought you two were old school buddies.
That was done and this is now. Sometimes I really feel like they wrote him in there to, you know, have something for the first game. And the whole, yeah, they were childhood buddies. And then they realized, we actually just fucking hate this guy. So he doesn't get any improvement to how he acts, ever. And he's just annoying all around, which kind of makes me a little sad. So what's this good info you were talking about, Larry? Hey, I'm a pro. I can't just give away information for free. He wants a bribe. I thought professionals were more, I don't know, honest. Can you talk to him, Maya?
Larry, tell us already. What's the good info?
Hey, I like that. This kitten has got some class. Okay, you really want to know?
Yes, yes. So tell me.
Okay, so the thing is, Ron Light was an employee here. And naturally, since I'm a pro, I looked into his background. Follow me.
Yes, you're a pro. I follow you. Go on.
Well, 1 year ago, Ron Light was fired. And there was no warning at all. Just happened all of a sudden. I noticed it was a small company, but I think that was pretty awful.
So you must have done something bad to have gotten fired like that.
Like, maybe skipping out of work to go pick up hot chicks or something. Nope, just you. So what is it like to be a part-time security guard? Let me tell you, it's tough. But, you know me, I get by right, I guess. First I have to keep my eye on those monitors, all the time. Monitors? There's security cameras set in each room around the building. It's really hard. Sometimes I feel like my eyes are gonna fall out.
Oh.
If I see something suspicious, I have to contact one of the teams.
What teams?
The security teams for this company. They're supposedly the best in the business. But I'm not amateur either, so if it's something small, I don't bother calling them. So in other words, you basically watch TV screens all day long. You were in this office when the murder took place, weren't you? Why do you say that? It's just a part-time job for me and I can't operate the equipment. And I'm done. Even if it's part-time and you're dumb, you're still in charge of security here. Give me a break, don't try to pin the whole thing on me. That's not fair, Nick.
Huh? I don't think you can expect someone like him to take any responsibility.
Anyway, the point is you were here that night, right?
Oh, come on, Larry.
Really? Oh, no, I knew something smelled bad and it was the butts after all. Like I always say, that was then and this is now, okay? Going to have to break his psych-locks after all. Now open up. On the night of the crime, were you working hard like you were supposed to? Of course I was. Why wouldn't I have been? Didn't you sneak out of work just yesterday to go see Misty Light? But that was I, and this is this. Is there any chance that you snuck out of work last night too? Never. I didn't sneak out. I tell you what, I'll even bet you $1. $1? Wow. That's confidence. What's with that drenched in the rain puppy look on your face? Do you have evidence that I left my position or are you just pulling my chain? The evidence that Larry was not manning the station when the murder happened is he found the wallet. Take that! This wallet, you know about this, right? I've never seen it before. Liar. You had delivered this wallet to Miss Delight just yesterday. Give me a break. You can't expect me to remember every little thing that happens. I do expect you to remember something that happened just yesterday. What time was it when you found this wallet? It was around 1 in the morning on the first floor of our company building. 1 o'clock in the morning. That's right. In other words, Larry, at the time of the murder, you were away from the security guard office. No. And that's that. Yeah, but there's something you didn't think about. What's that? My shift that day didn't start until 10 p.m. The murderer might have snuck in before that. What do you mean by that? If the murderer had snuck in before 10 p.m., then it wasn't my fault. It was the fault of the guy whose shift was before mine. Why do I have the feeling that he still doesn't get the seriousness of this? Listen up, Larry. We know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the killer snuck into the CEO's office after 10 p.m. during your shift. Take that! Larry, when you use this keycard, does it leave a record? Yeah, it does. But I can't show the record to just anyone, you know? The keycard data was already made public in a trial today. What? I didn't know that. Any kind of request for info like that is supposed to go through me. Oh yeah, does that sound a bit arrogant coming from a part-time warrant? Anyway, according to the data, the door to the CEO office was open with this card. Furthermore, it was most definitely used at 1 a.m. the time of the murder. No way! Yes, someone used this to get into the CEO's office. That happened at 1 a.m. on the night of the crime, right in the middle of your shift. Oh... Larry, you can't duck your responsibility this time. Why you would ever do that in the first place is beyond me. I knew it! It's all my fault! It's my fault that the boss was killed, my fault! Larry... There's nothing I could do! I have important issues to deal with too, man! What happened that night anyway? My Donna happened! Huh? Your Donna? I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, my Donna called and said I have to talk to you right away. So I went to see her and he was standing right there next to her. Who was? My new boyfriend. It was like some horrible joke. Before I knew what was going on, the guy sucked me right in the kisser. Normally I'm the one that does the punching, isn't it right, Maya? Yeah. Is that why you left the security guard office? I'm sorry. It's all my fault. How could I ever make it up for it, Nick? What can I do? What? You can stop crying into my ear. He's curled up on the floor crying like a baby. Oh boy. Nick! Is there anything I can do? Anything! Just name it! Yeah, just fucking tell me what happened that night. I'll do whatever I have to do to make up for it, I swear I will. Larry... Hey Nick, as long as he's offering, why don't you show him the evidence we got? She's right. Maybe we'll get at least one bit of useful information from him.
Stop crying.
The buzz in the CEO's office is directly connected to this room, right? That's right. Just like my heart is connected to yours, Maya.
Shut the fuck up. Huh?
Go ahead, Maya. Press the buzzer in your heart. I promise I'll come running to your rescue like the professional guard I am. Wow, that was pretty good. Thanks. I tried. Do you think you could tell us about the buzzer now? Yes, please. Please tell us. Okay, I guess so. Prepare to be wowed. Wow me then, Mr. Butts. Accidentally pressed the buzzer earlier? Yeah, I heard it. So that was you, huh?
The worst thing about Larry is that he keeps showing up. No, the worst thing about Larry isn't the fact that he keeps showing up, but it's the exact same thing every single time. No improvement. No change in how he acts whatsoever. Ever. That's the worst part, I think. 1 second.
You're a security guard, aren't you? Why didn't you come to the CEO's office? Oh, this is the 3rd floor of the basement. The CEO's office is on the 1st floor. I thought it would be a good idea to adopt the wait-and-see approach. Plus, there's a police detective here, right? I just didn't think it was necessary. It's as if he's trying to win an award for the laziest person on the planet. Let's get back to talking about the night of the murder, okay? Is it true that the buzzer didn't go off that night? It must be a record, right? You must have had a look at it, right? Of course I did. And I couldn't possibly have made a mistake either. Do you think you could take just one more look for me? Pretty please? Okay, just can't say no to you, Maya. What do you think, Nick? He's probably right. I don't think even Larry could make a mistake like that. Ah! What is it? What's wrong? I made a mistake. Huh? How? It can't be. It's impossible. Okay, enough already. What about the records? That night, I ran off just once, in the morning, at around 1 a.m. 1 a.m.? That's when a murder happened. Really? Are you serious? That's terrible. It can't be. It can. It also went off once at 1:02 a.m. on October 12th. Well, thank you, Larry. Oh. How do I... Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. Oops. Ashes of Kudan exhibit is all ruined now. I'm sorry, it's just so sad. This was our big chance for everyone to learn about spirit channeling. You can cheer up somehow. Now, if you get the sacred urn back, maybe they can reopen it? Really? Sure, maybe we can label it the Urn of Master Desires. That would probably attract a lot of attention. That's brilliant, Nick! We could clean up and be filthy rich. Woo! That was surprisingly easy. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work out. I want to make it to the detention center, actually. There we go. Detention center. Trying to figure out how some of these places are connected is a little disorienting sometimes. I understand why, because sometimes it's like, oh, you know, we don't want you to just jump to another place, because technically if you go through there you would meet another character that is scripted, so so you need to go this specific way, but also please let me through. Is that me? Sad pitiful whine that tapers into silence. Sounds like they're interrogating Mr. Delight right now. And we don't have enough time as it is. Yeah, well, I guess the police are going crazy just like we are. Yesterday they thought he was just a thief, but now they got a murder case on their hands. Yes, you're right. The guard over there looks a bit on edge, too. Come on, we'll just have to come back later. Really? We'll check out some other place. I want to talk to him. Okay. Where else am I going to go then? Will I go to the basement, maybe? Basement. I can't talk to him yet. Aha! It's you, Mr. Wright. Miss Andrews. What's she still hanging around down here for? So, how's it going? What about a sacred urn? The urn? Oh, that. It's been taken care of already. Who do you think is the most crazed footwear? Oh. Well, certainly not Maya. Maya is wearing shoes that don't crease. I would argue maybe someone like Edgeworth, who was wearing dress shoes all the time. I don't think I've ever looked at everyone's footwear closely enough that I would know what kind of shoes they're wearing, but I think Edgeworth would definitely be up there. Like, he's definitely the guy to just wear dress shoes. It's not like Gumshoe can't afford any. What kind of shoes is Gumshoe wearing in the first place? I don't think I've ever looked at his full sprite with the intention of looking at his boots. Are those boots? My good sir. Oh, no, yeah, Gumshoe would definitely has creases in his shoes. Maybe Gumshoe then. What do you mean all that? Taken care of? Do you mean it's been found? Yes, it was brought in during the trial today. Really? You really are the greatest, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright had nothing to do with it. It was Master Mask's wife that found it. Well, anyway, I'm so relieved. I just heard all about it on the news. So the detective was actually the thief all along. Looks like that way right now. It's my fault. I'm the one who ended up hiring the mask to guard the treasures. Don't blame yourself. You were just doing your job. Nick, if she wants to apologize, you should let her. So, when was it that you hired Detective Atme again? It was the wife that found it. About 20 days ago. And when was it that Master Mask calling card arrived? That was about 10 days ago. So he sent a calling card to the very place he was hired to guard. So that's it then. Detective Atme must have really wanted a sacred urn after all. Guess so. So Master Mask murdered someone as well? Well, that's how things look right now. Yes, but I thought he was here stealing the urn at the time. Oh, we're talking about a criminal mastermind, so anything's possible. Nick, let's get down to business already. On the night of the theft, did you notice anything suspicious about Detective Atme? No, I couldn't have. After all, he was hidden the entire time. I never even caught a glimpse of him. He claims that's the way he always operates. It's just what he says so he can have an alibi while he commits the thefts himself. Yeah, he was caught in the crime scene photo dressed up as Master Mask pretty well. I'm so glad that you got your sacred urn back. Yes, but there's still something that bothers me about it. What is it? I'm not exactly sure, but somehow the urn that came back seems different. Really? You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Miss Andrews? No, I don't know anything. Why would I? Taglocks. What do you think this means, Nick? It means the person who holds a secret to the mystery of the sacred urn is our very own Miss Andrews. But I don't have enough to pull her out on it yet. So now I should be able to go down to the detention center, right? Yes. Mr. Wright!
Mr. Delight, did they finish the interrogation? Yes, but
Please don't leave me alone anymore. Mr. Delight, you lied to us before, didn't you?
well, you see.
On the same night, the sacred urn was stolen from Lord Detailer department store. A blackmail letter you got summoned you to KB security to hand over some money. And then, that's where the CEO, Kane Bullock, was murdered. But there's only one Ron Delight, am I right? So the only question is, where were you that night? This time I want to hear your whole truth. The whole truth, your life depends on it.
Okay.
Mr. Delight, do you still insist that you are Master Mask?
Isn't that what I've been saying since yesterday?
That's a quick response. Tell me about it. To be honest, it's starting to get irritating.
But listen, Mr. Delight. At the trial today, we learned the true identity of the thief, didn't we?
Yeah. The tragic clown. I guess it's true. I wasn't the one who stole that urn. Of course not. After all, you were at KB security at the time. But then the person dressed up as Master Mask in this photo.
It's gotta be Detective Atney.
So that night you didn't go to Lord Detailer, you went to KB security, right?
Yes, I went to KB security at the time the blackmail note said I should.
Alright, what happened next?
Well, I used to work there, so I knew where the CEO's office was. I knocked, but there was no answer. So then I used a keycard to unlock the door.
It's probably when he dropped his wallet.
When I went into the CEO's office, someone was in there.
Someone?
Then suddenly they bashed me over the head. Was it Kane Bullock that hit you?
I don't know.
The person ran away while I was still stunned. When I came to my senses, the sight I saw left me speechless. That body of the CEO was right there in front of me. I thought I'd die myself. Anyway, I thought I should do something with the body.
Just because we can tell who a sprite is. So that's why you put it in the sink.
Yes, that's right. I used to be the chief of one of the security teams, so I knew how to open it. Okay, and what did you do after that?
Well, I got out of there for starters.
I was the one who set up the security cameras in that building, so I knew how to avoid being spotted by them. Yeah. All of a sudden, Mr. Delight kinda sounds like the murderer to me.
Please don't say that.
Mr. Delight, is it true that 1 year ago you were forced to quit KB security?
Now, how do you... I'm begging you, please don't tell Desi, please.
Don't worry, we haven't told anyone yet.
Thank goodness.
No, I am... I suppose I have to tell her sometime. She'll find it eventually. Why have you been hiding it from her anyway? I guess you would despise me if you ever found out I was living a life of crime. A criminal, a thief, she'd never forgive me. My marriage would be over. Knowing that, why did you become a thief in the first place? Because Desi spends money like it's water. There's no job in the world that could bring in enough money. Except being a thief. At least that's what I thought anyway.
So you became Master Mask for Desi there, huh?
This is an article about my debut heist. Boy, that was a tough one. Before I knew it, they were hot on my trail. But Master Mask, he must have gotten away, right? It says in the article that he disappeared. That's right, I got a sudden burst of inspiration. I hid my Master Mask costume in a nearby plastic bucket. Then I quickly changed into my security guard uniform. Pretty clever, huh? Wow, awesome.
Hey, hold the phone.
The guard in this photo, is this you, Mr. Delight? That's right. Nice trick if I do say so myself.
Nice and easy to figure out. Even Pulse could see through that in a heartbeat. Garden photo is Ronnie Light.
So you might expect Detective Atme found the disguise. It truly deserves the title of AC Detective.
Detective Atme found the Master disguise? That's interesting.
Yes, and I heard that he brought it home with him.
That's it. That's when Atme got his hands on this.
Thanks to that, I got the chance to remake my costume. It must have been really time-consuming, huh? Yes, it took quite a while to complete. Anyway, a few days after that, I received the first of the blackmail letters.
Blackmail letters? You got them starting when? Tell me more, now. Calm down. Don't get so worked out.
This blackmail letter, is this the first one you got?
No, of course not.
But this is the first one that ever called me out to a specific location.
So did you start receiving blackmail letters after this incident?
Yes, just a few days after the Tia of Emanon heist. The first letter, it said, I know you did it. So someone found out about your true identity, just like that. It's not easy being a master thief, you know? I could prove that it was you, so give up. It went on to say. So in the end, I had to give up the treasure I went through all the trouble to steal.
Is that right? Hang on a second, what do you mean you had to give it up?
Oh, don't worry. After I put the jewel in the safe deposit box the letter specified, someone sent me 10,000.
No one said anything about me being worried, you know?
After that, I started getting the plans in the mail.
Plans?
What are these plans you're talking about? There were instructions on how to steal a crown, or painting, or some other rare treasure. They showed security blind spots, escape routes, and even suggested training methods.
So you mean that the one who planned the heist wasn't you?
No, it wasn't. I only planned the very first one. After that, I received plans from some very kind person, incredibly detailed plans. Sounds like Mr. Delight is thankful to the person that was blackmailing him.
So Ron Delight was Master Mask after all. But someone else was behind the theft, someone who planned them all out in detail.
All I had to do was deposit the treasures I stole into the safe deposit box. Then I just waited for the cash to come in the mail.
Did you try not to look so gleeful about it?
So you went after the sacred urn because of one of those plans too? Well, see, the truth is I've never seen the urn. All I did was follow the instructions and steal what I was told to steal.
Mr. Delight, is everything you've just told me the truth?
Yes, but please don't tell Darcy, okay?
From the second heist on, he was stealing as directed by blackmail letters. Ron, before we go, there's one more thing I want to ask you.
Yes? Please don't hurt me.
Mr. Cane Bullet, do you swear that it wasn't you who killed him?
Yes, of course. I could never. I'm not lying. All I did was hide his body in the safe. But then I was afraid they'd discover what I did, so I turned myself in yesterday.
Why?
Well, if the judge had ruled that I was guilty of robbery, then I have an alibi, right? I guess so. You're really clever, Mr. Delight.
So no choice but to take Mr. Delight at his word.
Stigmaya!
Hey, Pearly!
I'm back!
Hey, Pearls. What have you been up to this whole time?
Sacred urn, Mr. Nate. I took it back to Kunai Village to have it examined. And? What did you find out? Well, there's no need to worry. They said it's a real urn.
That's a relief. I was really worried.
But there's one small problem. These cute little pink splotches, they said that it's paint, and that they were put on the urn recently.
Really now? Why are we talking about the pink splotches again? What's the big deal?
What's the big deal? We gotta find out how they got there, that's the big deal. Yes, Mr. Nate, we gotta find out how they got there.
Okay, we go find out how they got there. Just don't forget about me. Don't worry. I'll be back for you soon. Oops.
Pearl, how nice to see you. Hello there.
I haven't seen you around lately. What have you been up to?
Well, actually, I was having this urn exam.
Oh, I see. Maybe if we take another good look at this urn, we can figure out the mystery of what actually happened here.
Hey, let's look around one more time.
Sure. This box, there's something about it that's bothering me.
It's about the box that the sacred urn was in. It looks like there's some pink paint on it too. And it's definitely the same color as the stuff on the urn.
I think I know how the paint got on it now.
Alright, let's investigate again, Nick.
One box that had the sacred urn in it has pink paint stains on it. Like I said, I dropped it in a Danganronpa game. Looks to me like it's been dry for several days.
Something suspicious about this paint mark. The bottom left part of it is shaped oddly and is shocking pink. Mr. Nick, could it be that this odd shape is...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it.
What's the box of sacred urn was in?
If you look here, there's a little bit of paint on the box as well. A little?
Right, look, it matches. What is it, Mr. Nick?
This is all turning out exactly as I thought it would. If you dry, the box of the sacred urn fits in the gap perfectly. I think it's all starting to become clear. And I'm much closer to solving the mystery of what happened to the urn. Miss Andrews, do you know anything about the sacred urn? Do I know anything? I'm in charge of the entire treasure exhibit. The urn was submitted before the court today. It's obviously not the same urn as before.
Well, that's
True. Maybe it isn't the same. It could be a fake. Fake? You're the one who said it wasn't the same, so that's the most obvious explanation. Do you have any evidence that the urn that was submitted at the trial was genuine? Yes, because Prodigy just came back with it and was like, no, it's a genuine article. Sorry to break it to you, but the urn is a genuine article. I also went back to Kuda and Village and had it examined. Is that right? That's nice, but I don't see how... What she discovered was that the urn had been broken. Again. Did you say again?
Yeah.
And you fixed it, but you fixed it properly. You probably thought, oh my god, it broke completely, and you fixed it up, but you actually fixed it the way it should have been fixed in the first place. Oh, this woman is so funny. Yes, it was broken once a year ago. And now it looks like the same thing has happened. Quite recently, too. Recently? Are you saying that the zone was broken recently? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Why do you think it was broken recently? How do you know? Why are we turning this into such a big deal? Why can't we just talk like normal people? This poster was made recently, right? Poster? The poster for the exhibit. This time it looks like it was repaired with chewing gum. At the time when this photo was taken, the urn said I am on it. But now, for some mysterious reason, it says Ami. When the urn was fixed, the letters were transposed. What does that even mean? I don't know anything about that. I wasn't even there when the photo for this poster was taken. That was a mistake. Tell the truth. Wait. Or... Even if the urn was broken, I had nothing to do with it? Huh?
That's it! It must have been one of the people at the photo shoot. They probably dropped it. I'm sure that's what happened.
But she's not going to give up that last psychologue so easily. Do you have any proof the urn was broken here at Lordly Taylor? Yes. I do. Look at the marks. I mean, she fixed it. It's good. It's genuinely closer to its original look than it was. Miss Andrews. What is this supposed to mean? There's pink paint all over this urn. And there's pink paint all over the floor and walls of this basement warehouse. In other words, this urn was broken here. You can reason out of this one, Miss Andrews. But... oh, she's trying to make her escape. You can't get pink paint anywhere. It's not in my office, that's for sure.
Well, there is in my room.
Liar.
Anyway, the paint on the urn and the paint on the floor, there's no proof that it's the same paint.
Come on, this is getting ridiculous. The proof linking the paint on the urn to the paint on the floor is... This is so needlessly complicated. Like, it's okay, Miss Andrews. You fixed it. It's better than it was before. I just want to know when it broke. This box, the urn was stored in this, right?
Yes, that's right.
Miss Army hasn't been in there for a while now, that's also true. I think you already know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yes, more or less.
Paint on the floor is an odd shape imprinted on it, doesn't it?
Yes.
If you put this box into the impression in the paint, you can see it fits perfectly. Which means this box was dropped right over there. And that is when the urn was broken.
Your name does you justice, Mr. Wright.
I think I actually remember the full thing of what happened. But let's see.
I'm so sorry, I was the one who broke the urn.
Why does this make me feel like some sort of evil school teacher?
I'm a terrible person. Not only did I break it, but I tried to hide what I did. Well, that's not so hard to understand, is it, Birdie? No, not at all. I know just how she feels.
It happened about 2 weeks ago.
Just after the poster photo was taken on the same day the urn arrived here. I thought I put it away down here for safekeeping. I was carrying it in the box. When I tripped on a paint can and lost my balance, the box I was carrying crashed to the ground. I heard a terrible noise and I thought my heart was going to stop. Being the worst, I opened the lid of the box and that's when it happened. The broken pieces of the urn fell out of the box and landed right in the paint. I was in shock. I let out a huge scream. I can totally see how that could have happened.
Yeah, as clumsy as she is, I'm sure Maya understands.
Well, I knew it was the most important treasure in all of Kudan Village, so I tried as hard as I could to fix it. Fortunately, the shots were pretty big. And that's when the IM got changed to Ami. I didn't know how it was originally written. Any sane person fixing it would have assumed it said Ami. Any sane person, really?
Oh, pearls.
So she wasn't very good at spelling. Anyway, I put the urn into the storeroom and no one had seen it since then.
Broken and repaired by Adrian 2 weeks ago, then replaced in its box, kept out of sight.
There's something I don't get. When we first came here, I didn't see any paint stains. Well, that's because it was so ugly and embarrassing. I used a golden statue to cover it.
The Ami face statue, aha! First time that we came down here was on the night that the sacred urn was stolen.
Mr. Nick. There were no paint marks on the walls of floor of the warehouse when we were here. There's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, the golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain trading hall.
And?
I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains.
Instead of, I don't know, cleaning up the paint stains?
That's why I put it where you first saw it.
I see.
That makes perfect sense. But there's still one thing I find strange.
What is it, Pearl?
The day after the urn was stolen, we came here again. At the time, the statue had been moved and the paint was clearly visible.
She's right about that. Mama Sanders.
What? I don't know anything about that. I placed it there to cover the paint, so why would I move it again?
Well, then who was it? Who would have done it and why? Yeah, I wonder who. On the day before the theft, the statue was definitely closer to the door. Then the next day, it was moved. But why? Here into the basement warehouse the day of the crime moved again that night. It looks like there's some connection between the sacred urn and the murder case.
Why? Why do you think so, Nick?
Because that night, the real thief Rondelight was a KB security. So then why did another master mask show up here? A lot of different things are pointing to one undeniable fact.
One undeniable fact?
The murder trial is starting tomorrow, but it looks like the thief is going to be making another appearance. I do wonder, though, if I can finish the entire trial. I'm gonna try.
Thank you for the pet. Hey, Nick.
What is it this time?
You won't believe how many people are here for the trial.
Today in an hour? Well, it is a murder case.
What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door.
Next door.
Why did you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atmy's trial today.
With Atmy?
They say they're going to try him as Master Mask.
Already? That was fast.
Oh, I'd love to see Master Mask's trial. I know.
By the way, where's Pearls?
She went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore.
I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh?
Yeah, ever since the incident last year.
Please don't ignore me.
What was to be late? Good morning.
No one likes me. No one would notice me even if I killed someone.
Come on, don't be silly. Wait a sec.
You don't mean you're the murderer? No, I'm just a poor thief. You would redeem I did, but mobile Twitch won't let me. Oh, mobile Twitch's latest updates were horrendous. Like, I don't. I wish I didn't get that update. I don't think I got it on purpose anyway. I just suddenly had it. It's like one of the worst updates ever. I hope they change that stupid homepage update. Like, anything that immediately gives me autoplay of something I didn't even choose is horrendous design. I'll say it. Can't even properly look at everyone I'm following who's live. It's very not nice.
No, wait, that's not right. A thief can really be poor.
Now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been selling to him to help him commit the heists.
Do you really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick?
It's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock.
Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always.
I'm afraid that's not an option. I hope if enough people speak out against it, they're actually going to reverse it. Genuinely. Like if even like more well-known streamers, like the really big guys out there go, hey, this update is actually shit. I hope they're gonna listen to the community for once. It's been like 2 months. Oh wow. Yeah, I'm not the I have automatic updates for everything turned off. I only update my stuff when the apps like literally force me. They're like, oh, you need this. You need to update this now or we will not let you use it anymore. As much as possible, I always just wait. Unless it's like a genuinely, like from what I see, a good update. An update that fixes stuff, but most of the time, they don't. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Von Delight. Fence is ready, Your Honor. You're ready. Preparations to the last refuge of the week. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin with the opening statement, Mr. Godot. He's going to judge in the palm of his hand, yet again. Von Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war, but that is exactly why you must be more precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Oh. The judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in a safe at approximately 9 AM on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 AM of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. The little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot, please call your first witness. He's already on the stand. I never drink more than 70 cups of coffee during any given trial.
You are insane. / negative.
But the first one is always the best. Mr. Godot, your witness. Okay, let's see what the defendant, Mr. Von Delight, has to say for himself.
Like, insane.
Insane. The defendant? What's the right? Does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having a defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. Delight to testify. You've got guts, right? Alright then, Mr. Von Delight, please take the stand. You did it, didn't you? Yes. What? No, that's not true. For a moment there, I thought we set the record for the shortest trial ever. Well, Mr. Delight already looks plenty guilty with the face he's making. And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Very well. Now then, can you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why did you go to KB Security? How many actually doing sort of statement?
Hey, how many times did we give him that Sprite, actually? Oh, fuck, I didn't check. Can someone run the numbers on that one real quick?
That's kind of hard to say. I wish I could go home. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. That evening around 1 AM, I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. The blackmail that I got, it ordered me to go there. I've been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. Yeah, that's about the same thing he gave us yesterday. 1 AM, the exact time the murder took place. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate, the strong drink it up. Ha! It's bitter today too, just like my destiny. Never know that from the way he's checking it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination if you please. Sure. You used to be security chief for KB Security, right? Yes, that's right. Security chief? You? And yet, a year ago you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? A perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe we should change the subject? Let's ask why he was fired, actually. We still don't know that. Mr. Light, please tell us why you were fired from your job. Well, The world is filled with those who have said I wish I'd never asked that. Okay, then I take it back. Defendant, please answer the question. I needed money? You needed money? Well, you see, Desi loves to spend it. It's kind of a hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company. Come again? Maybe security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was a security team chief, I stole some data and sold it. Mr. Buller found out and I was fired immediately. What? I should never asked that. I was somehow able to keep it secret and made it seem like I had quit on my own. Listen, Nick, you don't look so good. Someone who brings harm to the company is fired as a punishment. You do well to remember that. I sure told you. So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct? Yes, I'm sorry. It's a very important fact. Please add it to your testimony. And this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse, crashed, and blew up. It's gonna take the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. ID for selling company secrets, so Desi doesn't know about that. It ordered you there? It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere. Yes, I mean, you've gotten utter blackmail letters then. Of course, they say I should... Why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? You just don't say anymore. This design is very cute. What does the blackmail letter in question say? It said to bring 50,000. Money, eh? Perfect motive for committing murder. Oh, but wait! I never intended to pay the money anyway. Oh, is that right? After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of. An important point indeed. Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir. A muddy mudskipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. Well, Phoenix, I was absolutely horrible in Outer Wilds and I still somehow made it with the help of our friends to the end of the game, so I think we can do this. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway? The blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity revealed, correct? I'm sure it was referring to the whole master mask. I'm afraid that reason isn't going to hold up anymore. What do you mean? The victim had no proof the defendant was Master Mask, but you were the one who stole company secrets only 1 year earlier. But that was all over with once I was fired. It's true that the fact I stole secrets was kept under wraps. Even so, there was no reason for me to pay up now, a whole year later. Is that really true? What is it, Nick? The fact that Ron was stealing company data, I wonder if he would have had a problem if that ever became public knowledge. Mr. Delight, I believe you would have been in considerable trouble if your identity as a company data thief was made public. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to do by bullying your own client? Men are like colonies of bacteria. The more heat you apply, the faster they grow. That's exactly right. Well then, feel free to keep up the heat, my little lawyer amigo. Little lawyer amigo. How tall is Godot? He seems imposing from his sprite, but like, to be fair, Phoenix is not small either. Now come on, provide some evidence to back up your assertion. Why would Mr. Eli want to keep his data stealing secret from going public? Because his wife still doesn't know that he was fired and what he was fired for. Mr. Eli, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't? I think you must have been scared, very scared, of having a certain person find out your secret. A certain person? Miss Desiree Delight, the defendant's wife. What? But I... Listen to me, my Desi, she's... It's like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Ah, Godot. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company debtor to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that is how this murder came about. No! Everything is falling neatly into place for him. Don't talk about my Desi like that. You'll be sorry. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far. What do you think, Meg? I didn't think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. I like that it actually took us around 20 minutes to read all that. That's fascinating. Surely there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife, and he killed to protect his secret. A family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. What happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight? Come now, tell us. We're all ears. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Buller was lying there dead. Secretly a timer running. If it had taken us longer, I would have said 30 minutes. See, suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided similar testimony. He said that Master Mouse struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Admin turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Huh. No one's going to believe a pathetic lie like that. What are you saying? I really was attacked. We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Trey? Don't go easy just because he's your client. If I see any sign of you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. Please don't. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godo. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Ron. I wonder what his original Japanese name is. Actually. Hold on. Ron Delight. Yusaku Amasugi. Wow, he's called Ron Delight in literally every other version as well, except for French. In French, he's called Henry Duplaisir. Okay, and he also has a different name in Chinese. But he's called Ron Delight in German, Spanish, and Italian too. Interesting. Henry Duplaisir. Like this. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. What were you wearing? That. Could you please clarify what you're referring to? Why, my Master Mask costume, of course. Wait just a moment. Master Mask? Huh? Oh, I forgot to mention it before. Just to be on the safe side, I dressed as Master Mask. And then I descended upon the office of the CEO of... descended upon the office of the CEO of KB Security. What? Nick, did you know about this? He never told me this. I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. Seems our little friend really loves to keep secrets. I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait. That's alright, you know how sometimes things just slip your mind? My 6th cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly. At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. You killed if I hadn't been wearing my Master Mask costume. Why were you dressed up as Master Mask? Why? Because I'm Master Mask, of course. What are you talking about? Master Mask trial is being held next door.
I guess so. Anyway, at the time, I thought I was being blackmailed over the Master Mask issue. So I thought I should go as him just to be safe.
Oh.
Let me tell you, it's a real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I expected.
Took a lot longer. What is he talking about?
Yes.
What do you mean by took a lot longer?
Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught in the safe though, you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullard's body.
What was that? Back up a second.
Yes?
You were the one that hid the body in the safe?
Well, yeah?
Inconceivable! Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in a washing machine? What? The answer is simple. When they take them off. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying. Do you mean that Mr. Delight hit the body because he's the murderer? So you're not as stupid as you look.
So I thought this time was really obscure.
Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you?
Oh, well, yes. Why am I the only one not in the loop here? Redness, make sure you add this to the testimony.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. Looks like a storm fund is moving in over the fair weather jets. Panic and hit the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes. Is that the last one then? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yona, could you please take a look at this record? And what might this be? The record for the emergency buzzer that connects the CEO's office to security. If the button in the office is pressed, the security team is supposed to come running. And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m. What? If Mr. Wonderlight truly was the murderer, he would have run as soon as that buzzer sounded. After all, a security guard would have been heading his way. Let's remember who we're dealing with here. He probably had no idea there were security personnel in the building. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security. There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. But as it turns out, the guard never came. There was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser who just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend and wasn't anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mr. Delight could have known. Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer going off. This buzzer is extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is.
Conscious? What do you mean by that?
Seven? Fine. Let's hear your theory. Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed, and went to beg that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes.
Conscious? So he fainted?
That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body.
Trying to say?
Do you have a dedicated coffee here? Probably. Mr. Delight was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right, whoever it was, they knocked out Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer.
Mr. Wright, this is preposterous.
It was his kid. Ron Delight is the one who killed Kane Bull. Then who pressed the buzzer?
It was the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough to push that button.
So Cane Bullet sounded the buzzer itself. What's your opinion on this, Mr. Ray? Proof that real criminal was at the scene, but how? Can I prove that it wasn't Cane Bullet who sounded the buzzer? Oh, yes, The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. The buzzer itself. There are no fingerprints on it. I believe this is a piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for. A fancy toe with a fancy hidden coffee machine. Emergency button. Is there some kind of clue on it? Absolutely not. 8. Come on now, at least give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth. The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue. Now I'm the one who's clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullet had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind. Von Delight obviously wiped them off. My way, a guard could have come in at any moment. He touched a button, I know he did. The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Master Mask. And Master Mask always wears gloves. What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? They would sing. 9! For Street Crow. I wonder if Lena a crow flavored coffees. Now if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Shouldn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? It's like you're fresh out of parlor tricks. Down to you, Nick. Give me a minute to collect my thoughts. Real culprit killed Mr. Bullet at around 1 AM. Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? Killer clobbered Mr. Delight and then sounded the buzzer. Even though security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond. Time's up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say. Very well then. Oh, you got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer? You called the security guard. It's actually pretty obvious. The killer knew that if they pressed the button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted. Do you mean to say the killer called the guard on purpose? Yes, although as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock clean at the time. His clock clean? Jesus! What a touching story. You're saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in? No, I'm not. When the buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Cane Bullet, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer. Hi Bill, good evening! Oh, you committed a bit of crime, might as well commit a small. Now, he obviously wanted to call the security guard, so Ron would be apprehended of his crime of killing someone. Apparently. I'm doing fine! How are you doing? Hypothetically, yes. Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room greet the victim and Ron Delight. And if any security guards came running in at the time, they would think that I was the murderer. Exactly! The weather has cooled down so much, actually, that we only had 19 degrees today, so like a full 15 degrees difference to yesterday. Which is a little much of a difference. Like it's been raining the entire day today. I prefer the cold weather, but it's a little extreme. Going from 34 to 19. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Rondi Light for the murder. Why would you take it? Okay. It would seem. Which one is this, 10? If you may treat my words once again. Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. No, the rain is nice. Mr. Ray, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Oh, wait. Wait a second. I'm the one that only masked the mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killers? I'm going to drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. Killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and I also knew that he had been called to KV security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard. Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Rondi Light for the murder of Kane Bullard? Gee, I wonder. Detective Luke at me? He's the only one who could have done it. Gosh, detective. Luke at me? You mean Master Mask did it? Has been matching again for the now. This poor woman has been through enough. Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Master Mask at all. He is in actuality the true murderer of Kane Bullard. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder, which is the more serious crime? They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment. So remember the trial from yesterday, if you will. When Luke at me confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, the famous detective was unmasked as, well, Master Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. He found guilty. Master Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Master Mask was Luke Atmey's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi. Guilty verdict as an alibi? Yes, actually. I'm surprised it hasn't really come up as much as, like, a thing you could do in the Ace Attorney games. Where did we see? What else am I thinking of right now? I had a guilty verdict of something else as an alibi just recently. Hate my brain. You know, it's almost time. For what? To look at this verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. If they're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course. That's assuming you've proved that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atmey's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If he were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his true crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? Yes. Huh. And that's only good when your life's the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight. So, please, I'm begging you. Sure. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can you really risk your life like this? Phoenix, believe in yourself! What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. That voice, it sounds like... Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess. So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmey to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Ah, hi.
Well, Sir Detective Atmey.
I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly.
Oh no, so Detective Acme, you were the one who...
That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant Luke Acme. Wait, don't head down your verdict yet, please. Well, sir lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. Who's this house, eh? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Acme.
Accusation? You accuse Master Mask.
That man is not Master Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? I mean, surprisingly enough, though, Payne must have his fair share of wins. He just doesn't get any wins against Phoenix. Or anyone involved with Phoenix. They did call him the rookie killer for some reason, so... he's just an absolute failure when it comes to going against us. My sis! I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice.
So then she's still alive, inside your heart. Nicky boy!
Oh, Misty Lake.
Is it true that Detective is the real killer?
To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the only one who could have done it.
Oh, wasn't he a lonely tailor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Acme want to kill Kane Bullard?
Almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. We need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. Oh, we're just bullshitting this one. Even though there's someone's life on the line. Alright. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Acme, please take a stand. Well, how do you do, sir lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. And let them hand down your verdict just yet. No one would have given you a perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Master Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Acme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I've been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Mask. Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning the property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are in fact the Mask? Of course. Very well, then look at me. Let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 AM, Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at the time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks? Alright, Mr. Acme, the night of the murder, speak. We're all ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. I was seeing the earnest Master Mask just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to repair. It was a pathetically easy job. The photograph contains the words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. It seems the main point of discussion may be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. It has to be a secret up to this picture as well. Even the great Master Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. You're not going anywhere. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he's a fool.
I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick.
I've been called a fool many times. And the other few times have definitely hit harder than this one, so... The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Oh, good. He doesn't have a whip. Exactly. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent a calling card to Lord Taylor 10 days before the heist. And that would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There was no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You truly are evil, aren't you? Truly. Evil is what I am.
Nick, isn't there something odd about this?
Hmm?
Detective Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lord Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he had no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona.
You know, that's true. It is kind of odd. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd.
You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all live days like that.
Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all.
Life is truly an ironic thing, a sad blue malady.
So I better get more information for now.
It's true the killer there's got to be something phony in that photo. The camera capture was the same time as the murder. Oh wait, I just pressed it, never mind.
Objection!
Yeah, I know. With the camera that took this photograph? Oh, come now, it's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lord Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lord Taylor's staff that printed out pictures that night. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. Let's see. So I better find something else that could be suspicious. Do I even have anything else I can press? It is. And the photo showed me wearing a mask. So I put the mask on. Guess there's no way to tell who this really is.
Objection!
Oh.
Isn't it this one I have to... Oh my god, how does this... God, I know exactly where I want to get, but I don't remember how to do it.
I could have stumbled with it. Couldn't have killed Campbell as an accomplice. Long and hard about the basement warehouse, and this picture that supposedly captures it. It's got to be here. Is there something funny about this? Thank you, that's what I wanted. Jesus Christ. Are you implying that this picture is a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. I took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. And there's something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? The funny part is right here. This is a bloodstain. Blood! Now, this case is getting interesting. Exactly. The stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just pink. And peach color. Blood to peaches. Ginger loves going on his wild tangents. The problem with this photograph is not the paints. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. It turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Ray, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Good reason, I leave the camera on you and the golden statue happened to arrive. Yes. I myself was there the night the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then the statue should have been there.
Objection!
But when I went there the day after the theft, the statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally. Liana, the statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accident push to move it that distance. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us a rhyme and reason as to why the statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it, the real question is why did they move it? Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Who was the one that moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? I mean, I wonder who it could have been at this point. The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke at me. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange illusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? Reason for moving the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? Reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be Master to create an alibi by showing you were Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. Single fatal flaw. Interesting theory. Place and likeness. So why in this picture does a lie exist? Naturally, the line in this photo is a timestamp. Do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke at me went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lordly Taylor at this time. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor,
When was the statue placed beside the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Look at me had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. What the? Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. So, on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak.
What?
Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match with the way it had been in his photo. Getting closer. Mr. Atme, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? Data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lord Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. My 11th cup. I promised to drink no more than 17 during a trial. Which means I'm still good till the last drop. However, the defense has a very good point. Good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea, however, there's one point that can't be denied. Which is... his 12th cup. That it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true. Don't fall for that, Yar. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. I first received the request from Lord Lee Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box and Svadi was then sent to the warehouse. Hence I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 AM on October 12th. Imagine trying to steal a booklet with the army written on it in marker, hell yeah, and covered in paint, because it was broken, and it wasn't actually there. Haha, haha, haha. It's pretty much all stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you sure there are no mistakes this time? Svadi! Very well then. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Sure. Da, 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 da.
Thank you for the hidey time in the back.
Mr. Atme, if you really are Master Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Of course, he says. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card the Master Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, the speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there's no way the Master Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lord Lee Taylor.
I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to a human error, or should I say an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. You can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, the alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Alright, that did it. He's broken.
Nick, I think it's a little early for a victory pose.
Huh? It's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask. And now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point. No way, don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that Luke Atme was the one who killed Kane Bullard. Then let me ask you this. Why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright, motive. Why do my merry murderous motive manifest?
Nick, he's getting a second win.
If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Rhonda Light, as you said, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Rhonda Light. Isn't that right, Detective? Indeed, according to my own research, the boy's motive is clear. Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were? I'll be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. Everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Look at me, had no points of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he's Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Surely a tragedy. Kane Bullard blackmailed the defendant. This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. The handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What? Well, this specific one, maybe. What about the others? Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination. Oh. Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You wanted to art. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us where you've got there, Junior? Indeed, time to man up, Mr. Wade. Why are you both ganging up on me? Just the contradicting evidence and the content of the blackmailer. Do it. Come on. Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tail of Amanon, the stolen jewel. What about it? The problem is this jewel's color. Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. It's like the red diamond you received the other day. Red? Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tea of Eminem that Master Mask stole at all.
Objection!
And your point is, Mr. Trite? So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That's what you're trying to say, right, Trite? That's what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Right? Well, that's what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. This is who Cane Buller was actually blackmailing. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You've been personally involved in every single Master Mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen, and received a jewel as your reward. Jewel? Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. The red diamond ring. That is a diamond referred to in the letter, which means that Cane Buller wrote the letter in order to blackmail you.
Objection!
Seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh. I don't like the way you said that. Cane Buller blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you for real? That was the wrong voice? On all accounts? Yes, I am.
Come on, send up to him.
Then answer me this. The blackmail letter contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world. Yes, it certainly does. Cane Buller threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret, so just what was that identity? Atme killed Cane Buller because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret?
So what it all comes down to, Nick?
The identity that Luke Atme wanted to desperately keep secret was his identity as a blackmailer. There's lots of blackmailing going on in this chapter. Luke Atme was a blackmailer.
Objection!
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Cane Buller was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
You have to admit that sounded a little odd.
It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Cane Buller was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Ron Delight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. Yep. Detailed plans, in which case that would mean that Ron Delight was actually Master Mask. That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme. Silence! Now I see it's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How do you... You say that I, Luke Atme, was blackmailing Ron Delight. In which case, I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Well, yes. Ron Delight started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Oh, you certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot bit of evidence. I literally showed you guys the same fucking newspaper clipping like a second ago. During the first crime, how did Luke Atme know that Ron Delight was Master Mask? You people for real? Does anyone actually read what I show as evidence? Like, genuinely? Ever? I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. Do you mean? His newspaper clipping. There's a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. Seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct. Tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Mask was really Ron Delight. Wasn't he supposed to be Master Mask?
Golly dad, looks like he wasn't even a nice detective. I can't believe it, he was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as a nice detective. Why, how dare you expose me like that? I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and paradise detective, and I also master mask. Why can't you understand that?
I'm afraid you're neither proud thief nor an ace detective. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity. Using yourself with those big mouths of yours, you're really fools. I say, none of you can compare to my genius. You're really just jealous. So go on, just sick from it. Come on, nice detective cannot handle blackmail murder threats. I get away with it all. Ha 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 ha. Enough to make one laugh. I'm just gonna pretend I could actually read half of what that said. It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer.
That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. Except we can't prove it.
Please prepare yourself, Mr. Atme. You're getting on my nerves, Godot. The hammer that strikes too fast has no time to aim. What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling. That's the exact problem. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trade. What do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer, and that he wasn't at Lordly's Taylor the night of the murder.
That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bull.
But... there's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that his pitiful excuse for a man was a KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the final round. Got to prove that Abney was at Mr. Bullett's office on that night.
But can you really prove that?
Nope. That's long enough. Mr. Truck, I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Atme was a KB security and the defense cannot prove it. I can't prove it. Just as I thought. But if we hear more of Detective Atme's testimony...
Objection.
Unfortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trade. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony, that's what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Luke Atme's here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial and face his guilty verdict as master mask. Ooh. Oh, now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I'm the ace detective as well as master mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as one lights will verify that he's the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Order! Order! Enough deliberation over this witness.
I can't believe this. At this rate, one is... Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and...
By then it'll be too late.
Huh? Why? Oh my god, it was Lost Judgment. I'm so stupid. Oh man, what did we have recently that used an alibi for a different case to, you know, make it so this person couldn't have committed murder? Lost Judgment, the game we've been playing for the past few weeks. Thank you, brain. Only took me like 2 hours.
Double jeopardy, one of the basic rules of any court of law.
Double jeopardy?
Should defendant be tried and found innocent in court, that defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts, and it applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Acme will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as the mask, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned.
No way!
The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Acme's guilt of the crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer.
Nah.
One try. One last try. Come on. Let me at him one more time. There's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, the real killer, Luke Atmay, will go free. Cross-examine every statement the witness has made here today. And as long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? Yes. I object. Then I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atmay.
Objection!
I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you... Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. No voice. No way. Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! This is a true power of the Kodain channeling technique. I know that it's really Maya standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, me and Faye. Let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. Testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You've cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but... Unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. Yep. She's been summoned to trial every 5 minutes. These comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well. Then we shall prove the importance via cross-examination.
Everyone gets their report card exposed today.
Mine always said something like is generally reserved, takes the lead in group discussions, could and likes to participate to a certain degree, which in turn means that they wanted me to actually like I would answer if I was asked, but I would never like raise my hand myself to say something, so they wanted me to actually do stuff of my own accord more often. It's kind of report card I always got. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor? Is something the matter, Mr. Godot? Nothing. So, lawyer, it looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehood will do anything to me, look at me. Let's hear it. Well, it's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you... Very well then, Mr. Look at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. So please, give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief.
Get it.
Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I'd known about the date before, and so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ronnie Knight. And thanks to the keycard and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his master mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter, the victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. It's fatty. Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. His testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained and none of them seem to contradict anything. Not of course. But how did you know about the emergency buzzer? The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. Are you going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. We cannot postpone Luke Adme's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec. Just one chance? Seems that the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts with that testimony? So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix, pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. If you can't point out a case-breaking contradiction, you lose. That's all there is to it. Cup number 17, the last cup. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial. Find a fatal contradiction in this testimony, and I need to point it out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find a contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance. Okay, you told me like 15 times now. Sorry, please begin your final cross-examination. I'm trying! How would you know that if you've been in the other trial and he literally only told us about the fact that he was wearing that outfit earlier? Mr. Atme, about this last remark. You still don't get it, do you, Trite? Hi, TK. This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. What? Mr. Atme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button does not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit, is that correct? Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof. Well, like your deductions prove that you're a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Master Mask when he went to the scene of the crime? That was, it was just a few hours ago.
Hi, good evening.
Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Exactly. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. You understand now, Detective Adney? There's no way that you should have known about that.
Yeah.
You in the next courtroom being tried as Master Mask. So then the likeness, just how did you know about that piece of information?
Well,
Come on, this detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Mask outfit. There's one and only one way for Detective Adney to have found that out. One way, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. Yep. The second my client witnessed the real killer. Mr. Delight never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Adney. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn his statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible. Ta-da! Wow, who would have guessed from that silhouette alone? Detective Edme, you saw Master Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Oh my god, what the fuck? Hello? Why are we having an entire earthquake happening? Jesus! Oh, what kind of breakdown do you have? Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival body of Medina's, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. Again? You already said that. That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. You should get them when they're on sale again. They go on sale quite often. I'm assuming maybe they'll actually put them on sale again once the investigation titles come out. Also, they're available on pretty much every single console, so like Steam, Switch, PlayStation. I think you could get them on pretty much anything. I am not aware of any dropped frames, but I don't know. Well, an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. Upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan. To use a double jeopardy rule when making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. Excuse me. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man, besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict? I know, you never committed any murder. That's right, I'm so glad you understand that, but I really am Master Mask. Huh? So, things are not true. Yesterday I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? And now that you mention it, I've been careless. Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. The defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was once found innocent. Then, Master Mask is really innocent? It would seem so. For now. For now. Now then, this court finds the defendant. Hot.
Milky!
This is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Master Mask after all. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of Dakota in channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to her mother. Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around.
I think you for the pet.
Mia. Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all of this has happened.
Come on, just be happy already.
Maya. You've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot. But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask. I did it all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became Master Matt? Yes, but it's all over now. A broken bowl can never be put back together. That's not true, right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. Can? I never wish you would check with me first. Mr. Light, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. Yeah. Look at this fucking thing. He should see it as a chance, yeah, for real. Sacred Urn, Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife, she's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. There you are. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that, but I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you quit KB security. Never imagined that you were really Master Mask either. Miss Delight, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Oh, come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. Did you say that you hated criminals? Hmm? Oh! I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like a detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous. I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Wow. You really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy, yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. Feel my face going red.
Mr. Nick, Mystic Maya, congratulations!
Talk about bad timing.
Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife, in front of Mystic Maya.
No, you got it over.
I'll never forgive you.
This is the worst running joke they've put in recent times. I don't even remember this. I think I must have banished it from my mind because it's stupid. Just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even better than before.
Oh yeah. The stolen turnabout! The end! Yay!
Oh yeah, no. I know who's gonna show up in the next one. Dun, 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 dun. No, 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 no. No. That none of you are getting spoiled on something we need to wait until next week for. No, no, no. Stop. I hate it here. I hate it. I am not. This happens every single time. Every single time I'm like, oh yes, I'll save, and instead of going back to the main menu, I just close it, and then we immediately get started on the next case. This is a very long intro.
Will you let me go back to the main menu, please? Will you let me go to the main menu so I can actually say we're ending the stream here? Please, game. Let me out! Let me out! Oh, there we go. Anyway. That is it for the second case in Ace Attorney. Yippee. I love Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney is so fun. That is going to be it for tonight. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming. We had to go a little overtime, but we made it. We made it. Well, we're gonna continue this next time and jump into the third case, which I doubt we're gonna be able to make it through the entirety of the third case, so stay tuned for that one. I'll post the schedule in a bit, but it's going to be the exact same schedule as no, that's not true. It's going to be almost the same schedule as this week. Where I hope that the cat doesn't try to escape or hide from us for the entire night, so I can actually continue to have a talk with Barry. Unlike this week. And then we're gonna catch up on Octopath and do more of this, and I'll still have to find something for Saturday. I haven't actually thought about that yet. Hey! Anyway. Thank you guys so much for coming by tonight. I'm gonna end the stream here and do something we haven't actually done in quite a few Sundays, I feel like. But maybe that's just my general sense of time being off. But it's Sunday and Leary's playing Myst, and I have a certain love for Myst because Myst is one of the very few and only video games that my grandma has played, aside from Professor Layton. My grandma is the reason I got into Professor Layton, actually, and the other one is Myst. We played Myst together many years ago. That's like one of the only video games she's ever played. So it's a very special place in my heart. I wish you all a very good night. Thank you so much for coming by. Have a good night.
And bye bye. Bye bye.